The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is the fuck is the day? Okay, I'm sorry. I usually have the date pulled up. Today is May the 29th, 2025. And if you want to join the conversation and listen to the show, all you have to do is tune in to YouTube, or you can call into the number at 1717-908-1834 and hit the access code at 917324, and I will open your mic and let you on here to say whatever your heart desires. Just try to keep it calm. I know this is Talk Real Solutions, and we have a historical reputation of being unprofessional, undisciplined, and just, not. You know what the hell I'm trying to say. Just if you call in, just try to keep it above the board, if you will, for the algorithm. I done heard that word so many times now. Algorithm. For the algorithm. People don't know how to stop saying algorithm. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Let me see if I'm saying it right. I'm a country boy.
Algorithm.
Yeah, I was saying it right. So anyway, just try to I Google that, and then I put the pronunciation on there so I can learn how to talk as a grown ass man. I still don't know how to pronounce words, but it'll be all right. But yeah, just if you call in, just try not to do those things. Don't talk about killing people, and if you say something that you are accusing somebody of, we like to use the word alleged. I think that's the stupidest thing, but I'll do it. I'll do it. Alleged. So the channel can stay up, and just do that. All right, so that's all I got to say about that. What's going on in the world? Well, Donald Trump is still. I titled the show Taco. I don't know if y'all guys know, but I just called this like at the end of the day, like right before I called in here, is that they gave the president of the United States a name, and they call him Taco. And I was like, why? And they got all these memes out here about Taco and Donald Trump. And I was like, what in the world is they calling Donald Trump Taco for? I thought it was odd. And but the whole entire planet is calling this man Taco. And I'm inviting Sarge's opinion on this because it's pretty interesting. Why the planet is calling Donald Trump Taco. And I think it's accurate. And let me see if I can pull up an article. They got all these they got all these pictures of Donald Trump. Let me see if I can get you a better screenshot here. I think that's no, that ain't it. I'm sorry. Well, anyway, y'all can see this shit. Let me drag it in. That's the wrong one. Yeah, I clearly don't know what the fuck I'm doing. After all this time of doing this shit. Oh, I see what I did. There we go. This one. Okay, so yeah, look, the internet has got all of these memes of Donald Trump and Taco, and I just Googled this whenever I came right before I started this thing, and I was like, what the hell is they calling this man Taco for? And basically, the reason I need Sarge's opinion is because it goes back to what I was saying initially about Donald Trump being full of shit. And let's see if we can find this article that explains what this taco is. Okay, so taco stands for Trump always chickens out. Now, it stands for Trump always chickens out. Now, what does that mean? That means whenever this man came into office and he destroyed the economy, he threatened Mexico, he threatened Greenland. He told us that he was going to handle Vladimir Putin and end the war. He said that the Israel and the Pakistanis, he was going to settle that. He told all these lies, right? And then whenever it came down to it, he chickened out with the tariffs. He backtracked. He withdrew the tariffs. He reduced some tariffs, and he didn't get any deals with any countries that he threatened the tariffs on. So the reason that I need Sarge's opinion, because Sarge was waving the fucking Trump flag about how great the tariffs are. Hey, what's up, MJ in East Coast? He was waving the Trump flag about how great the tariffs are, right? And he was saying that it was going to fix the economy and all of this, and I was telling Sarge that it ain't doing but raising prices on the American people. And during the time, in real time, we were showing how the stock market was unstable and people was losing money and all of this kind of bullshit. In other words, Donald Trump don't know what the fuck he's doing, neither does the Republicans. I always said the Republicans cannot govern. They have a history of not knowing what the fuck they doing. And this goes from way back, way before Trump. The Republicans ain't never took charge and benefited this damn country in no way whatsoever. And it's beyond me why they still are a viable political party in this country whenever we see the history of them conducting themselves the same way they conducted themselves in this administration. They don't know what the fuck they doing. You know me, I know the reason for it, and I say it every week, it's whiteness. That's all it is white people want white people to be in charge, and they don't give a shit if they crash the economy. They don't care if they break the laws. They don't care. But it is beyond me for the once strongest nation on the goddamn planet, the one with the most ingenuity, the one that were the leader in a whole bunch of categories that set examples for the world, why the strongest country on the planet would put somebody like a bumfuck idiot like Donald Trump, a criminal, an alleged rapist, a crook, a thief, a liar, a two-bit hustler. Why would this country put that man up there in charge? But like I said, I want to hear. I know that Sarge is gonna double down on his Trump ball licking, but I just want to hear his response. This article said Trump lashes out over viral taco trade meme. What does it stand for? President Trump was confronted with an acronym pointed at his trade policies this week. While it may sound tasty, the phrase appears to leave a bad taste in President Trump's mouth. Taco trade, which stands for Trump always chickens out, was coined by the Financial Times columnist Robert Armstrong, but has since spread across Wall Street and across the internet, mocking the president's back and forth on his tariff policies. The sentiment behind the phrase is that despite levying steep tariffs against countries, specifically China and the European Union nations, Trump has repeatedly pushed back deadlines, lowered tariffs, and backed off from initial demands, according to Armstrong. Investors engaged in the taco trade by buying stocks while they lower costs after Trump announces the new tariffs increases them, then reaps the benefit when the market rebounds as he delays the back and forth and back off them. While fielding questions from a reporter in the Oval Office on Wednesday, a reporter asked Trump's reaction to the now viral Wall Street jab. "Oh, I chicken out? Isn't that nice? I never said that," Trump said. The president went on to defend his decisions on tariffs for China for 90 days and pushed back at the deadline of 50% tariffs on the European Union countries until July the 9th. "Y'all call that chicken out?" Trump said, appearing visibly agitated by the question, which he called nasty. "I think we could really help China tremendously because, they were having great difficulty because we were basically going cold turkey with China," the president continued, "when we're doing no business because of the tariffs, because it was so high, but I knew it. Don't ever say what you said," Trump told the Republic. That's a nasty question. Trump tariffs announced in April on what the president called Liberation Day overturned decades of U.S. policy and disrupted global commerce and left the stock markets in a state of flux. The legality of Trump's sweeping tariffs, however, are in legal limbo after a three-judge panel of the U.S. Court International Trade ruled that Trump's overstepped his authority when he invoked the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act to declare national emergency to justify global levies. The Trump administration appealed this decision on Thursday, with the court temporarily delaying the judge's order. The court has set the briefing schedule on June 9th. Listen, they take the right actions, but they don't stand firm behind it. Listen, that court was right. Donald Trump don't have the power to put these tariffs in place. I know a lot of people look at their office as the president and say, "Ooh, he can do anything." No, he can't. Because what does tariffs involve? Tariffs involve spending. Tariff involves money. And we always knew, should be common knowledge, that Congress has the power of the purse, and Congress dictates where the goddamn money go, not the executive branch. That's Congress's job. It's not the judicial branch. It's Congress's job to dictate where money go. And when this guy got up in here wanting to be a king, he think that he's control of everything, and they're not. And this fucking Court of Appeals, what is it? The U.S. International Trade Rules. What was it? It said a 3-judge panel on the U.S. Court of International Trade Rules. That court, when they made that decision, they were absolutely right when they said that Donald Trump overstepped his damn bounds with levying tariffs on the fucking planet. Somebody should tell this motherfucker he can't do that. Why is Washington scared to put this damn motherfucker in his place? He's not a king. This government was not formed in that manner. This government was formed with 3 co-equal branches, and each branch has power. They have equal. Co-equal means co-equal. One is not no more powerful than the other. What makes a democracy work is when all 3 co-branches agree or disagree on certain things. But when they agree, the country moves forward, right? But they broke that system by polarizing the 2 political parties and not ever having these 2 parties come together, agree again. They broke it. They tried to play politics a different way that doesn't work for democracy. It works for dictatorships, right? It works for Vladimir Putin, because when Vladimir Putin says something, no matter what the fuck anybody else say, it's going to get done. But that ain't the way America works. And when Trump came into office, throwing tariffs against Colombia, and then Mexico, and then Canada, and then talking about he's going to invade Greenland, that is way beyond what the fuck a president's supposed to do. So now the president has been lowered to global standard as taco. Trump always chickens out. And that is the truth, because he wasn't going to face China with these tariffs. And he backed down. He wasn't going to face he wasn't going to continue all of these other tariffs on these other countries, because the prices in the United States for the average American consumer would have went so high that we can't afford shit anyway, and we wouldn't have been able to afford shit, right? But now he's still screwed up, because there's going to be a residual effect of him fucking with the economy. Shit is still going to go up. Shit is still going to be high, and I don't know how it's going to play out, because I'm not an economist, but I know that period is going to have to we're going to have to go through that period when things go up, and then after that, I guess it might settle back down, but it might not settle back down, because what I'm looking at is after COVID, when he mishandled the damn country after COVID, and everybody increased the price of every goddamn thing, and ain't shit went back down. The cars ain't went back down, the rent ain't went back down, mortgages ain't went back down, ain't shit went back down after COVID. Everything is still fucking sky high. Before they had regulation to control these companies about, so prices can be fair. They attempted so you can make a living wage, so you can afford shit, but they don't give a shit now. They don't give a shit. But that's I thought that was interesting, that the entire world is now calling the president of the United States by a acronym that says that he always changes his mind. He always chickens out. Because that's Trump administration. That's him. That is him. And if that idiot do call in tonight, I mean, there's nothing that he can say, because one of the arguments was we need to give it time. We need to give the tariffs time to work, right? He's got them in place. We need to give the tariffs time to work. No, the fuck we don't. That is not how you plan out things and project how things is going to happen. So we give him time. We seen what happened when the markets reacted. We seen what happened when the other countries basically told Donald Trump to kiss his ass. We seen it was no big influx of money coming into this country based off of those damn tariffs. The deficit it did not get taken care of by any of the moves that the tariffs made. As a matter of fact, he contradicted himself with the deficit because he's got a bill on the floor that's going to increase the deficit by fucking trillions of dollars. But then again, you know, his fucking followers and people like Sarge is not even looking at that. They were so worried about the deficit and the debt that they said not Barack Obama, Joe Biden, when he was actually creating jobs in the United States with his bill, had the Infrastructure Act, lowering drug costs and trying to get the student loans paid off. They were saying that was blowing the deficit up. When people were asking for a raise for the national minimum wage, they were saying that was blowing the deficit up. There is not one thing in Trump bill that contributes to the American economy, to the people. He does not give back to the people. He's giving tax cuts to the wealthiest in America, and nobody is going to benefit from that. Nobody's going to benefit. Not even fucking small businesses, if you will. And I seen earlier when they said this no taxes on tips. I seen I think one of the houses passed that. Yeah, it says it's right here. I don't know what this is. Hold on. So that's one thing that he said that got passed, right? But who is that going to affect? Everybody don't get tips, right? The majority of the people that work in this country do not get tips. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. If it passes and people get to fucking claim their tips with no taxes, look, that's a good thing. Now, I'm not fucking so anti Republican that I can't say when something is not good, because I think that the problem should be addressed in the other direction, to where they should pay their fucking workers a living fucking wage and not $2 an hour, and in hopes that the customers give them tips, because that is nothing that's guaranteed. You know, you shouldn't be able to hire somebody if you can't pay them. And that's basically what these industries are doing. They're hiring almost free labor, paying them pennies, and promising that the consumer that is not obligated to pay a goddamn tip will pay them enough so they can live. And I think that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. While they're pocketing the majority of the money and not able to pay their employees. I think tips are bullshit. Tips originated in damn slavery, and that's just that's something hanging around from slavery that I think that should be gotten rid of, done away with. I remember we went over this on the show a while back, and I forgot who shared this stuff with it. We might have just looked it up. Well, I just asked AI because I don't, when I know it started in slavery, but I don't want to get nothing wrong, so I just Google shit so I can try to share with you guys. It says tipping historical roots are also intertwined in the legacy of slavery in the United States. Some argue that the concept of not paying workers a wage and relying on tips originated with the exploitation of the newly freed slaves in the hospitality industry. This has led to the ongoing debate on social economic impact of tipping in the service industry. And that's pretty much what what I know. And my point with sharing that is that it should be gotten rid of. It's done with. They pay these waitresses. It look like this thing said they pay these damn service industry people $2. Let me see. I just clicked on something. $2 an hour. American tipping culture employers only have to pay waiters and waitresses $2 an hour. That is bullshit. That that is straight bullshit. That means you make, if you work at 8 hours you make $80 in a damn day. If nobody tips your ass, how in the fuck is you supposed to pay any bills? You can't even buy a goddamn sandwich every day for that shit. You can't eat off of $2 an hour. And why in 2025 is this still a fucking thing? I don't get it. But the no tax on tips. So if these waitresses, I guess before, these waiters and waitresses had to claim their tips on their taxes. So you make $2 an hour. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, $18 a day. And you get $200 in tips, then I guess you don't have to pay taxes on it. And I can't get it. I can't lie to you. Some of these waitresses and waiters, they make out like a fat rat when it comes to tips, because there's a tipping culture, right? We feel guilty when we go eat and we don't leave something on the table. So there is a culture in the United States that automatically tips, and some people tip a little, some people tip a hell of a lot, and out of that whole system there, some people really make out like a fat cat when it comes to tips. They actually get some money that they can use. And that causes the controversy of people basically being in your face, calling you out if you don't leave a tip, because they rely on it. So I understand why they get angry whenever they don't get tipped, because that's what the hell they living off of. But at the same time, get the fuck out of my face. You you signed up for this job and I don't owe you shit. That's just the way it is. I mean, that's how confusing it is. If you don't want to tip, you don't have to tip. It is not a law that you tip. Nobody can make you leave a damn tip. But if you go to a restaurant and don't tip, you get this guilt trip ran on you, like you doing something wrong by not tipping. And so the polite thing to do in this society is to leave a damn tip. What if that family that came in there to eat dinner at a nice restaurant once every 6 goddamn months is living on a damn thread and they can't afford to tip, right? You're going to force that damn fucking family that is celebrating, that they was able to save enough money to enjoy themselves once a damn 6 months. You're going to make that family feel guilty because they can't afford to tip. Everybody can't afford to tip. I heard some people say, well, if you're working, you can tip. That don't make no damn sense, because that ain't your job to tell people what to do with their goddamn money. Now I'm saying all of this, and at the same time, here I am conflicted. if you go out and you can afford it, please leave these people a tip if you can. But at the same time, you don't have to. You don't have to. I'm not telling you not to tip. I'm just telling you in this damn country, there's a controversy with me because of the origins of tipping. It's not something that is in the economic model. It's not a part of capitalism. That it just isn't. It is something that originated from a hateful, um, deceitful mentality of having people work for free, clean up dishes, sweep the floor after the white man, and then if they felt generous because you cleaned up after they nasty ass, they would throw a nickel on the goddamn floor. That's where that shit originated from. They would throw coins at your feet and make you dance, or make you tell a joke, or make you do something silly. That's where that shit originated from. And it evolved into a culture to where now this society is criticizing people for not wanting to carry on that racist, hateful fucking culture. They don't even look at it as racist no more. If I told somebody that tipping originated in racism, they would look at me like I was fucking stupid. Because it's been so whitewashed. Right? They would, well, what are you talking about? No, I need this money because this is my job and I need the money. Yeah, this is what you would hear. They don't even consider the origins of what they're participating in. But like I said, I'm not telling you not to tip, because those people are real people and they're out there struggling, getting $2 an hour, and most likely they need the tip. As a matter of fact, I started driving Lyft again, and I'm not rejecting any goddamn tips. I take every damn one of them. So there's that. So I mean, I understand it, but I don't get angry either if people don't tip. So that's me. That's only me. And I know you got some drivers out there that get pissed off with motherfuckers that don't tip. But it is what it is. So if the no tax on tips things pass, what I'm saying is I'm half and half with it. It's a good thing for the people who's going to benefit from it, right? It is. But at the same time, that doesn't solve any economic problems that we're having in this country. It's more of this fucking eyewash bullshit that the Trump administration is famous for doing. And I see Sarge is in the chat room now. And Sarge, I want to hear your opinion on the world branding the American president with the title Taco. And that stands for Trump always chickens out. And just to go back over it, which means is what you supported in the tariffs of Donald Trump has never came to fruition. He backed out with China. He backed out with the European Union, and he backed off of the rest of the countries with his tariffs. He does not have any deals, and it did not benefit the country whatsoever. All it did was disrupt the markets and cause people to lose jobs and cause people to lose money. So I want to know what you think when the world, well, actually, they was the Wall Street Journal, I guess it was, that gave him the fucking title Taco because it says he's always chicken out. He never stood on business when it came to Taco. And at the end of this article, it tells us that a 3-judge panel in the U.S. Court of International Trade Rules ruled that Trump overstepped his boundaries. And now the whole tariff thing, that means that what he did was illegal, Sarge. That means what he did, uh, uh, he overstepped his boundaries when it came to enacting these tariffs. And you was one of the ones that raising the goddamn flag and waving the pom-pom, telling us how good of a decision this was, even though you should have known it was unconstitutional, but you didn't because you too much of an ass kisser. And now that this shit is falling by the wayside, what the fuck you got to say? Are you going to say that you was wrong? Are you going to retract all that dumb shit about how good it is to impose tariffs on foreign countries? Of course you're not, but that would be too much like right? Oh, let me open the line. I'm just running off at the mouth. What else I got to say? Let me see if there's anything else I got to say. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, P Diddy is still going on, so I haven't listened to P Diddy, but whenever I see the headlines, it's just more disgusting stuff after more disgusting stuff. I kind of generally in my head know what happened with all of these celebrities and P Diddy parties and all this kind of stuff, and I think all of it's disgusting, right? And when I heard the first day when Cassie got urinated on, I said, okay, well this is going somewhere that I don't know. I don't want to hear the rest of it. I will listen to it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to set aside time to listen to all that disgusting shit that's going on. And if I run across it and maybe I don't know, cutting my hair or something and it's on, I'll listen to it. You see what I'm saying? If I'm occupied somewhere, I will listen to it. But I'm not going to set aside time to listen to all that disgusting shit. He's guilty. He's a disgusting individual, and he's fucking guilty of whatever the fuck they charged him with. All the RICO shit, all the sexual trafficking. To me, he did all that shit, allegedly. He did all that shit. So, I don't know. I mean, but it's still going on, and they say it's going to be a while before it goes on. And I hear news commentators try to make stories out of it and all this kind of stuff. But what's the story? What is the fucking story? The man is disgusting. Now, if you're trying to implement other people, and yeah, okay, I got it. But I don't know the damn news story. So I'm going to shut up with that because I got 3 people that's got their hands up. And Elisa, your line is open. How you doing tonight, sis?
I'm doing okay, Tyrone. I'm going to let everybody else who's trying to call go because normally I don't call until 10 o'clock. But I wanted, before all of they, will you go ahead and answer the calls, I wanted to go over the no tax on tips because I usually read different financial articles and things like that, part of the job. But you can go ahead and get the other calls, but I want to go first and y'all can have at it. Then 10 o'clock, I'm here.
I got you. Howard, I got your line open, but let me see who this unknown caller is. Who's this unknown caller?
I just got 1, 2, 3, or 4 sentences to say to just put your arguments in a cocked hat.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I'm going to put them down, too. It ain't going to take me long. The full
no,
11 judge
wait. Tyrone, Tyrone, I asked, could I go first? I'm sorry, because I normally don't call into 10 o'clock.
Okay,
and y'all can have
let Lisa go. She did. I'm sorry.
I wanted to go.
To say what I got to say.
Okay.
No, that's fine. Because I don't interrupt. I want to get over this tax on tips.
Go ahead.
As a matter of fact, it's a moot point, Tyrone, because the full 11-judge panel overruled the U.S. International Court of International Trade.
Well, hold that.
No, they didn't.
Hold that thought.
No, they didn't.
Hold that thought.
No, they didn't. They didn't overrule.
We'll get into that.
They didn't overrule.
They did it today.
Okay, wait a minute. We're gonna let Lisa go first. We're gonna let Lisa go first, and then we're gonna get into all that. Okay. Go ahead,
I'm
Lisa.
just gonna say, as far as that's how it's being portrayed by the propaganda Republican side, It wasn't overruled. We'll go over that, but I'm not getting into that right now.
It was stayed.
Hold on, Sarge.
Thank you. It was stayed. That's different from overruled.
So that's most accurate then. That means Trump's going to continue doing what he...
That is not what stayed means. So we'll get into that, Sarge. I'm telling you, we can have that conversation. Into that. Hold on for a second.
New tax on tips bill approved. What you need to know. For millions of workers, tips aren't just a perk. Their essential data shows that about 4 million people in the United States, or 1 out of every 40 workers, depend on tips to pay rent and put food on the table. However, the IRS taxes that money. If tips aren't part of your pay, the IRS treats every dollar you receive, whether it's left on the table in cash or added to a credit card, receipt of regular income, but some of that could soon change. Some of that could soon change. In a surprising move, the U.S. Senate just passed a no tax on tips by the vote of 100 to 0. No senator on either side of the political aisle objected. If the bill becomes law, it could mean that millions of tipped workers get to keep more of what they earn, at least when it comes to cash tips. Here's more of what you need to know, beginning with how tips are currently taxed. Are tips being taxed in 2025? By law, you're supposed to report all of your tips to your employer if they total $20 or more in a single month. The employer includes those tips in your paycheck calculations withholding federal income tax, Social Security tax, and Medicare tax, just like they do for your hourly wages. When you file your tax return, your reported tips are included on your W-2 and added to other incomes to determine how much you owe. Even if you get paid in little cash, the IRS expects you to keep a record and report it. So currently, tips aren't treated any different than your regular paycheck when it comes to taxes. No Tax on Tips Act unanimously passes the Senate, but into the No Tax on Tips Act, the bipartisan bill sponsored by Republican Senator Ted Cruz of Texas passed the Senate by unanimous. This measure, which Peterson Foundation estimates could cost $110 billion over 10 years, has roots on Donald Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. You may remember that Trump frequently promised to end federal taxes on tips and overtime pay. But it also is worth noting that Republicans aren't the only ones who have called for the ending of taxes on tips income. Senator Jackie Rosen, Democrat of Nevada, has long called for making tips tax-free. Tip taxes are a key issue in Nevada because the state economy is primarily powered by its hospitality service industries. More than 5% of all Nevada workers rely on tips as a key part of their income. The bill will provide immediate financial assistance to numerous of hardworking families, Rosen stated in the release. Meanwhile, in a statement, Senator Ted Cruz called the measure a lasting impact on millions of Americans by protecting hard-earned dollars of blue-collar workers. So what is the Senate proposing? Here's a quick summary. A big deduction for cash tips. If you report your cash tips to your employer, you could deduct up to $25,000 of those tips from your taxable income. Who's eligible? The deduction is meant for working people making up to $160,000 a year. That income limit would be adjusted for inflation. Which jobs qualify? Bill targets jobs where tipping is standard. Think service, bartenders, hairstylists, and nail techs. Employer benefit. The bill also expands a huge tax credit for businesses, letting them claim credit for payroll taxes paid on tips, like restaurants do. What the no tax on bill wouldn't do. Despite the excitement over this bill, there are some things the Senate bill doesn't cover. The keynote is that the bill only applies to cash tips. Let me break in there. The average tips are on credit cards, okay? It used to be cash, but the majority of it is credit cards. Okay, let me get back to the article. through for the IRS tax purposes. Literal cash tips, credit card tips, and tips made through electronic payment methods like apps are traditionally treated the same. Non-cash tips are still considered taxable by the IRS and are not covered under this bill. Also, there's no payroll tax break involved. That means you will still pay Social Security and Medicare taxes on your tips, even if you claim the income tax deduction. And not everyone will benefit. About a third of the tipped workers reportedly make so little they don't owe federal income tax. Other workers, cooks, dishwashers, or other behind-the-scenes staff who don't usually receive tips won't receive a tax break under this bill either. The bill will now add to the U.S. House of Representatives for consideration. What about Trump's one big beautiful bill in the House? Okay, this just goes over, but let me read you something else about tax on tips. This is the thing that a lot of people are ignoring. Hold on. This is the part that a lot of people are ignoring. Okay. This is what a lot of people are ignoring. Employers potentially, while the primary benefit would be employees, employers might see indirect positive effects. Increased tax take-home pay to help recruitment, extension of the service industry, which often struggles with standard shortages. But this is the thing. Important considerations to caveat. Not a raise. It's crucial to understand that the legislation doesn't technically raise the salary-based wages. It simply allows workers to keep more of the tax income. Where's that part that I really wanted to read? Well, basically, occupations like service, it's supposed to be for certain occupations like service workers, popular families, learn to earn more. But the higher the tip income, the overall income of the worker is greater. So a lot of these people who work for these big industries and big organizations who get these big bonuses, we hear about them. They get 20, 10, $15 million a year bonuses. We all know what they are. Classify that as a tip. You ain't got to pay a dime on that. So the tax on tip isn't going to help the workers who don't make that much. The average tip now are on apps, credit cards. That is not, they don't have anything in the bill that will cover that. Some people still leave cash, but the overwhelming majority puts tips on credit cards and apps. Are still going to be taxed. They're still going to have money taken out of Social Security, their overall pay. And so a lot of people misunderstood that. This, as far as I'm concerned, people will probably disagree with me, but this is going to help them fat cats who get them bonuses every year while they pay the rest of the employees shit. And they get them $10, $20, $30,000, $30 million bonuses to tip. That's what we're going to see going to start happening. You have to dig into that to see who's really going to benefit from this. The higher earners are going to benefit from this, not the lower ones. That's all I got, Tyrone.
Well, I'm glad you pointed that out because I didn't even consider that. The only thing I was thinking about was waitresses and all these the service industry workers, but these people that are getting these $1 million and $100,000 bonuses, and they could classify them as tips. That's probably what this was targeted towards, anyway.
And the companies and the corporations who the workers who get part of their salary from tips, they're gonna get great tax breaks for that.
So I mean,
they're gonna be getting it too.
That's a good point. Anything for the worker, anything positive. I can't speak against it. And if this is gonna help them out, great. But at the same time, you are absolutely right. There's a reason that Trump has never had a history of helping the common person. and I don't mean to insult people by calling them common, but the everyday person, Trump has never had a
Well, don't
history of
forget
helping
about
them.
retired. Don't forget about retired.
I didn't forget about you. I'm just speaking right now. So I, and you done messed up my thought. But the everyday person, Trump is not going to help. So you need to look beyond what the hell this is, like Elisa did, and actually these people that's getting yeah.
You gotta look further. The corporations, these fat cats, yes. Service workers, like especially like they were saying in places like Vegas and stuff, they get paid. Them bartenders, waitresses, and different things like that. So they're in a different type of. They getting paid, so that's gonna add to them. But the people on the lower, and their six is still gonna be taxed anyway, because most of that stuff is done electronically.
Yeah.
And they don't have anything in the provision unless they put something in the provision saying electronic chips, credit card chips. It's not going to be. If not, you rely on cash tips. People don't carry cash that much anymore. So it will help some, but not like what people think it's going to do. Just not. It's not. That's all I want to say.
All right, Howard, go ahead. And then after Howard, you can go Sarge after Howard. Go ahead,
Howard. I done forgot my whole damn point. I've been waiting too long.
Let's straighten this out. So you called in here to complain? Is that what the hell I'm getting?
Sir, I didn't say that. I said I forgot my point. I've been waiting for a while. I forgot my point. Go ahead and play with your little nigga pet. Entertain the people. I forgot my point. Go ahead and play with Sarge, what you want to do, and do your thing. I forgot my point. I'm cool. Go ahead, bro.
All right, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Howard.
Yeah, you're right. We need coherence, not incoherence.
But go ahead, Sarge.
I'm going to say this, man. Because, this judge, when it's three-judge panel, here's something you overlook, because you always overlook it, because you're only concerned about what you allege is Trump's corruption. But this judge named Reif, who was one of the judges on that three-panel judge from the International Court of Trade, this dude is married to a woman named Desiree Green. Desiree Green is a high-ranking executive at Prudential Financial Company. And it's a Chile-based pension fund in which Prudential holds a 40% stake. It wields significant influence over global trade policies. This woman has been a long-time advocate for open markets, and that aligns seamlessly with Reif's ruling. It serves her corporate interest while it pads that couple's financial portfolio. So that's a clear conflict of interest from which this guy should have recused himself. Now, I'm not saying that what he did was influenced by the fact that his wife has a direct interest in the outcome of his ruling, but it gives the appearance of it, and that alone should have been enough for him to recuse himself from the panel, and he didn't. So, see, like I said, there's all kind of corruption going on here when opposition to Donald Trump. You people never notice it, and you don't care. You just want Trump to get got, and you want his policies to be stymied. Now, we talked about what I said with Elisa a little while ago. The federal court, the full judge panel for the United States Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit Court stayed the injunction. Now, I know that means the issue on the merits has yet to be heard. I'm not saying that it was, but it means right now Trump can continue doing what he was doing, and that's what he's going to do.
No, he can't.
Yes, he can. The injunction is stayed. You understand? Stayed. So until another court comes up with another ruling, he gets to do what he was doing. Do you not know what the staying of an injunction means?
Okay, well, go ahead.
First, you said it was an overturning.
I corrected it. You want to keep beating dead horses all night long?
Go ahead, man. What the hell is wrong with you?
I stated it incorrectly. Thank you for pointing it out. I corrected myself, and now I stand by what I just said.
Go ahead. You done?
I just love dead horses. They won't get up, no matter how much you beat them.
Are you done?
No, I'm not done.
Well, go ahead,
I don't bloviate and filibuster. I make a point. I wait for a response. respond or not? If not, I got more to say.
Yeah, let me respond, as long as you don't cut me off.
Yeah, well, don't bloviate and filibuster, please. Be like me. Be concise and brief.
I'm just going to speak to what you said. Everything that Sarge responds to has always got to involve some type of conspiracy. Somehow or another, Sarge knows personally about this judge's wife, about who he's associated with, and about the corruption level of this damn judge. And he's just saying, screw the judicial system. I'm going to go with these conspiracies to defend Trump. This is always his argument, is that somebody is a Democrat, or they're associated with a Democrat, or somehow or another they can't make decisions based off of their political leanings. I don't believe nothing you said about this judge, so that doesn't hold water with me. The fact is that the judge did convene and they made a decision, a legally binding decision, that what Trump did was unconstitutional, and he overreached whenever he tried to implement these damn tariffs. So that's what the panel ruled, Sarge. So talk about that, the legality of it.
Okay, and yeah, I love to talk about that. And I'm gonna tell you again, the Circuit Court of Appeals felt it was overreaching and stayed the injunction. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to win yet, because this is going to go further. Right now, he's going to be able to continue with what he was doing. And what I said about that man's wife is not a conspiracy. It is a matter of fact. She is, in fact, employed in that capacity. And I even said in my previous comment, I don't know whether or not her employment influenced the judge's decision.
Which makes it a conspiracy.
I said that, and you ignored it. What I said was,
that makes it a conspiracy.
Will you let me finish?
Okay.
It gives the appearance of impropriety, and since it gives the appearance of impropriety and conflict of interest, he should have recused himself from it. He might be as pure as a driven snow, but he is supposed to avoid the appearance of a conflict of interest whenever possible.
Let me insert this. When you got to your thinking process and you got to the point where you said you don't know, that discounts the fact that you're claiming it to be a fact, and it makes it a goddamn.
Oh man, you crazy!
Okay,
you don't know what
wait. Let me finish.
You crazy?
Let me finish with what I'm saying. I've got 3 seconds. I got 3 seconds. So that.
Okay, whatever.
That and the fact that you said that you don't know, that makes it a conspiracy.
How can I know? I got no evidence.
Why the fuck are you stating
I got evidence of what his wife does, though. I've got evidence of that. I've got his financial disclosure statements that he made for his spouse and himself, which lists her in that position. Now, that's not a conspiracy. That is a fact.
Well, move on.
The judge himself. The judge himself attested to her position in that firm.
Well, move on. Go ahead.
That's not a conspiracy.
Go ahead. Move on.
Yeah, well, look, I swear to God, man, you need to learn what words mean. You need a lexicon or a thesaurus.
Go ahead.
Again, I don't know what this judge's mind is. Like I said, he could be pure as a driven snow, but there certainly is an appearance of a conflict of interest, and that's what a federal judge is supposed to avoid at all costs. His wife literally profits by the existing status quo, which his ruling prevents Donald Trump from implementing an agenda to the contrary that benefits his wife's money income and himself. They're married. I don't know why it's so hard to understand. It has nothing to do with conspiracies.
Okay, well, all I'm saying is whenever you said you don't know, you just assuming that his wife had...
You're going to beat this dead horse again, too? How many times are you going to bring it up? I said what I said. It should be clear what I meant. You said, I heard what you said a little while ago. I'm not going to keep beating dead horses that you make clear or part of your... There's no point going. You told me, you said what Trump is doing is unconstitutional. What do you expect me to do? Go back and try to change your mind about what you think is unconstitutional? Hell, you think a Colorado Supreme Court can enforce Section 3 of the 14th Amendment? You don't know a damn thing about the Constitution. I'm not going to argue about every little bit of your argument when you're just determined to believe it.
So let me ask you this then. Does Donald Trump, as the president, have the power to enact tariffs the way he did?
Congress delegated it to the president in 1933, and they delegated it again during the Nixon administration. Congress delegated it to the president for good and sound reasons. Do you want me to tell you what they are?
No, they don't, Sergeant. No, he don't.
I didn't think you did, because you know I know what I'm talking about. That's why.
I mean, he doesn't. So I'm not even gonna go down this rabbit hole with you.
Yeah, well, no. Congress delegated the tariff authority to the president.
No,
because there's 535 members of Congress, many of whom want to tear up against this country, and one against this one, and another one against that one. They all got their points of view. The president is imbued with the powers of international diplomacy.
Okay,
so Congress, as they are wont to do, Congress decided it is best left to the chief executive long before Trump took office. It is best that the chief executive deals with tariffs because it is a matter of international trade in which the executive branch has the most sway.
Okay, you're stupid. Let me just say this. Let me just say this without being interrupted. So I'm gonna mute you for 1 second. He's stupid. He says Congress did something in 1973 for a 2025 president. Congress have sessions and they go in and out of sessions every 2 goddamn years. And every new administration, Congress makes decisions based off of that goddamn administration. I'm not saying that Congress have never enacted rules or laws that don't carry over through the years because, hell, that's why the hell they're there. But when we talk about this subject right here, this administration wrote up presidential executive orders. Presidential executive orders don't go through Congress. Presidential executive order is implemented by the fucking executive branch. The fact that he's spending money via executive orders is what is illegal. And this Congress giving to Trump the power and all this kind of bullshit, if that was the case, he would not have needed to write executive orders using his power. He could have said, by the power that Congress gave me, I'm enacting these goddamn tariffs. So whenever you get on here and start trying to confuse people with whatever the fuck you just said in 1973, blah blah, no, that ain't what the fuck happened. What the fuck happened is when Donald Trump got in office, he sat at that goddamn raggedy ass table, him and his fucking orange ass, and wrote those executive orders saying, I, as the president, am acting as the president on my own and implementing these powers of the executive orders to enact tariffs. He did that. It didn't have shit to do with goddamn Congress. So stop fucking lying. And what this court ruled is that Donald Trump don't have that goddamn power. God damn, you stupid. Now, I ain't gonna argue with you no goddamn
Man, you completely ignore the fact that that injunction was just overturned by a higher federal court. You are so silly, it's beyond belief. And let me tell you another thing, too. Look, if Congress wishes to reclaim its tariff power, all they got to do is pass some new legislation. That's all they got to do. They can reclaim it, and the president won't be able to do a damn thing with tariffs. Why won't they do it? Why won't they do it? They can reclaim it. Let them pass some new legislation.
Okay, you're stupid. Congress ain't never lost its fucking power. Donald Trump just didn't go through Congress. He used his executive orders to fucking deport people illegally without due progress, and he used his executive orders to enact tariffs. Congress is such a fucking broke back fucking weak ass goddamn institution right now because it's led by fucking Republicans. They're not going to oppose this goddamn president. The Congress is inactive because they agree with what Donald Trump is doing. If Congress was doing their fucking job, they would step up and say, hey, executive branch, we are the legislative branch and we enact fucking policies relating to goddamn spending. But Congress ain't doing that, Sarge. So you sitting out here pretending that Congress gave Donald Trump some kind of goddamn power when I just explained to you Donald Trump enacted that power using his power as the president in the form of executive orders. God damn, what are you slow?
You just made that up, and you had to change the subject because you're getting your ass kicked, and you had to run to another corner about illegal immigration. Now let's stick with this topic. If you want to talk about illegal immigration, let's drop this one and
I'm not. I just used that as an example of how Trump using his power.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you about that. Let's deal with that. Executive order, the president can pass 1 million executive orders as long as they're in compliance with existing legislation
which they are not.
By Congress. It doesn't matter how many executive orders he issues if they are in alignment with laws passed by Congress, which they passed and have not yet repealed since 1933 and 1974.
Okay, so hold on. So if they were in alignment with the fucking laws or whatever the fuck, right? Then this panel of judges, they're the fucking legal people. The judges are the fucking judicial branch, motherfucker. Donald Trump is not. Donald Trump is a fucking high school dropout. Somebody did his fucking SATs. He fucking cheated on the goddamn SATs. He fucking allegedly raped some goddamn body. He stole money. Letitia James found him guilty on 34 goddamn felony counts. The list goes on what Donald Trump is. And one thing that he is not is a legal fucking scholar. Those judges went to school and they just told Donald Trump what he did was fucking legal. You're basing all of your legal facts in a fucking scammer. I don't understand where the fuck you coming from, brother.
Negro, I'm gonna tell you again because you're the biggest fucking blockhead I've ever spoken to. Once again, a higher court overruled the International Trade Court. It's a done deal for now. It's been overturned. You keep ignoring it like it doesn't matter.
It is not overturned. Y'all said it was stayed.
The president can pass any executive order that's in alignment with any legislation Congress passed. It doesn't matter if it was 1933 or 1787. It's until they repeal it, it's still fucking law.
It's not overturned. Y'all said it was stayed.
And you are just as silly as a goat.
Y'all just said it was staged. I didn't Google that yet, but y'all said it was staged. So staged is not overturned. Overturned is not staged.
It was staged. It's not the same thing. This is a huge.
Okay, that means he can resume what he was doing.
No, but you're saying that they overturned
it. Okay, well, what's stopping it from doing it now then? What other court has said now you can't do it?
Would you allow me to answer? Start saying, because that's the talking points that your side is using. It was overruled, it was overturned. What they did is because the group of judges that gave the stay, I expected to stay. I'm not a legal professor, but from my reading and my understanding of the law, they appealed it right away. So most should have expected probably another court was going to grant a stay. That means continue on until we're able to hear the merits of the merits of what you're doing. Nothing was overturned. What they did is still standing. They just implemented a stay. Something that is usual in the court of law. When something happens, they take it to another court and they will grant a stay. Trump has been granted stays since he's been president on other things and ended up losing whatever it was that they were fighting for. They got to stay, you can continue. Then when they went to a higher court, another court, even the Supreme Court overruled it and sent it and removed the stay and put things back to what the federal court did. That's all this is a stay. Now, Tyrone, as far as Trump and these tariffs, President Trump's tariff war waged in the name of national emergency over fentanyl imports is an abuse of power. Now, I'm reading from Lawfare. These are federal lawyers who know they shit. In an unprecedented move, President Trump justified the imposition of tariffs on Canada, China, Mexico, and other nations under the International Emergency Economic That's what he did. He wrote that out. Which is IEEPA, based on an extraordinary threat of illegal immigration and drug trafficking. Problem for the president, however, is that IEEPA does not explicitly grant tariff authority at all. Indeed, the words duty or tariff appear nowhere in the statute. And to the extent that it grants power to restrict imports, it requires that there be direct connection between the action taken here, broad-based tariffs, and properly declared national emergency. Here, immigrants are fit. We don't have a national emergency. He took the power of tariff information from the Congress. They implement the tariffs. The president, they could give him the power to implement the tariffs, but they didn't do that. He took it away from them with his executive order under that IEEPA, saying that we're in an international emergency. That's what he did, a national emergency over fentanyl imports, and that all of that was an abuse of power. So why you go back to some time back when Congress did give the president, once they start implementing tariffs, the president will get out there and sell it, make it do what it do.
Right.
But he took the power away from Congress and started doing it himself. That is illegal. And yes, they can do a ruling and take it back, but that's not going to happen with this. What did you call this particular Congress that we got going on? Ineffective. They up under him. They are afraid of him. They are suckers. A lot of them are grifters and will be voted out of office come the ones that's up for re-election come the midterm. They just letting it fly. They never gave him the authority to implement tariffs. He took it away from them in an illegal move. And I am not a legal scholar, so I can't argue this. But sorry, you act like you are. And you dismiss what people for decades who do this, study this, say they are experts are saying. And to me, like you said, I said what I said. Go ahead, Dee Lee. I said what I said. Some people do know some things. And I think some of these legal scholars do. Nothing wrong with trying to say the way how they see it, the way how they doing it. But you talk about it as if it's law, as if it's in stone.
That's called lying. He just lying.
I mean, and maybe he just might be doing something illegal. I mean, unless you are a legal scholar, maybe you are. I don't know. I am not. But he just might be doing something illegal. And you might need to put some consideration to that. Because other scholars are saying that he has and he did. That's all I'm saying. I can't just argue, try to argue it away from all the legal scholars all over the world. And he's right, y'all wrong. They get their talking points and they said, wait for it. The talking points from the right is going to be that what the court did today was overruled it, threw it out. They did, and that's not what happened. They did a stay, something that is something that is very normal, something that is the usual when it comes to the court.
Well, yeah, so they can appeal.
Yes, Trump's past 100 days, he's had a stay on some things and end up losing it, and sometimes being granted it. And the higher court, they said, we're going to put a stay on this. You're going to come in and argue it. And then what has happened in the past, and this past little over 100 days, they have ruled back that the lower court, what they rule is going to stay. It's going to stay. What they ruled is it. So this is usual. A lot of people should have expected this to happen, because when it comes to appeal, a lot of times, and this is in regular court, criminal court, when it comes to appeals and people are going to appeal, they do these types of things a lot of times so that shit don't get overturned on appeal. They want to come off as fair, argue it. So this is really normal in the court of law. higher court, lower court. I learned this years ago that they will do this. We're going to put a stay. We're going to hold on to this. They go to a higher court, and then you come back. Supreme Court has done it, and they ruled against Trump. That is the best way so that you don't get shit thrown out on appeal. This is normal.
Right. And when Sarge saying it's overthrew or threw out or whatever, that's just not right. Here's a Reuters article saying the same thing that Elisa said and the same thing that I tried to articulate, off the top of my head. But it said the United States Court of Appeal, Federal Circuit Court in Washington, said it was pausing the lower court's ruling to consider the government's appeal and ordered the plaintiff in the case to respond by June 5th and the administration by June 9th. That's when they're going to continue having this conversation. It's not thrown out. Wednesday's surprise ruling by the United States Court of International Trade threatened to kill or at least delay the imposition of Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs on imports from the for most of the United States trading partners and additional tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico and China. The latter was related to the accusation that the three countries were facilitating the flow of fentanyl in the United States. The trade court, three-judge panel ruled that the Constitution gave Congress, not the president, the power to levy taxes and tariffs, and that the president has exceeded his authority by invoking the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, a law intended to address the threats during a national emergency. That's exactly what Elisa just said. That's what I tried to articulate. And he put that IEEPA thing in his executive orders, and that's when he implemented the goddamn tariffs. Sarge made up a whole complete lie and said that in 1973, Congress gave the president powers. That is not what happened. I don't know what else to say. So, Sarge, you need to go ahead and apologize to the people for lying and correct yourself, okay?
Motherfucker, this is what I'm going to do with you, give you some goddamn facts, because you love to narrate. You're the narrating this motherfucker I've heard in my life. Look up Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. Now, that is a law passed by Congress, and what it gives the power to the president is to impose duties and regulate foreign commerce. It gives the power to the president to impose restrictions on goods or imports into the country or enter into negotiations with trading partners if the U.S. Secretary of Commerce determines that the quantity or other circumstance of those imports threaten to impair United States national security. That is the fucking law. Look it up.
I'm not. Thank you.
Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. I don't need to filibuster all damn night.
Thank you for saying that, because you basically just said what we said. Once when Congress they imposed the taxes, and then the president get out there, he can get out and impose different things into that. He get out there, he make it do what it do. That's what you just read.
And Tyrone said he's got no authority to do it. Tyrone said only Congress can do it. Tyrone is wrong.
No. Okay. No, Tyrone. No. Listen. Hold on, guys. Look. Here's section.
You see how he did. You see how he didn't get it when he read it.
Here's Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1972. And Sarge, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Authorizes the shut up, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Authorizes the president to adjust import. Shut the fuck up, Sarge. Oh, that was Elisa. I'm sorry. Authorizes the president.
I'm sorry.
Authorize the president. Shut up, motherfucker. You know what the word impose means?
Oh God.
It says impose, motherfucker. Stop making shit up.
Yeah, okay, I don't know what the hell to say to Sarge. I'm done.
That's just.
I'm done. I'm done. Okay. Anyway.
Even with the word impose.
Okay.
Even with the word impose, it still is saying Congress says shit. The president, they allow him to impose impose, to this, to judge, to fix, to add. Yes, but they still are the ones that said it and signed it into law.
Yeah, that's why we got three branches of government.
And the president gets out there and do what he do.
Yeah, he didn't inform nobody. He came up with
I'm willing to wait on events. Let's see if you are.
Listen, don't argue with me.
And let's see how it comes out.
Okay, yeah, don't argue with me. Those judges.
I don't want to argue with you. I want to see it go through the courts and see what happens.
Those judges made a decision. It is now stayed. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. The decision is now.
That means what existed before the injunction goes on because the injunction was stayed.
The decision is now stayed, and he got until June the 9th. He got until June the 9th to respond, and then once he responds, we'll see how it comes out. But here's the point that I'm trying to make. Taco.
Oh yeah, now that's policy too. Taco is policy now. Oh, get the fuck out of here! And you're talking about me.
No, I'm just telling you what the world is calling Donald Trump.
Fuck the world. The world is going to shit. And Trump is
listen, the legitimacy of Taco.
All of a sudden, you with these goddamn Europeans.
The legitimacy of Taco has been.
God, man, these Europeans got your mind, don't they?
Okay,
Listen. I'm gonna play your game. You're a traitor.
Why I can't talk? Listen,
you love the European Union now.
Okay, they didn't got shit to do with the European Union. But the legitimacy.
Yes, it does.
All they saying is Trump always changes his position, right? Could you agree with that?
No, he doesn't always change his position. He negotiates.
Okay, the actual.
When you negotiate something, you frequently change your position.
No, okay, I'm sorry. The actual acronym.
I swear to God, man, you don't know what words mean.
Okay, I don't. So listen, the actual acronym stands for Trump always chickens out. That's what it stands for. Okay.
Listen to them damn Europeans.
Okay, so now let me ask you this right here. Hold on, just one question. One question at a time, Sarge. Listen.
And the EU and all those motherfuckers in Switzerland, you're all in there. You talking about sucking dick. You suck them motherfuckers dick every time you open your mouth.
Okay, listen. Trump imposed a 145% tariff on China. Is that still in effect?
No, because he negotiated with them. He has higher tariffs on their goods and lower good tariffs on ours.
Lying.
Do you not understand the significance of that? The Chinese are paying more they're less on their tariffs they collect from us. And
Okay. Hold on. Let's go to the next one. Hold on.
Understand that as a victory?
Hold on. Trump imposed tariffs. Shut up.
Shut up. Fact and reason itself.
Listen, Trump imposed tariffs on Mexico.
You heard what I just said? We're getting more money from the Chinese than we did
lying. That's not true.
They're getting less money from us than they did before.
Okay, that's not true.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, that's not true.
Do you know math? When a number is greater than
Why are you yelling? I got a question for you. Shut the fuck up. Trump imposed tariffs.
You can't do math. Simple math.
Shut up.
Trump number is greater or lesser than.
Okay, Trump imposed tariffs on China and
man, it's really weird.
Shut up. Trump imposed tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Is that still in effect?
Yes.
Okay, so Trump imposed tariffs on the rest of the world. Is that still in effect at the level that he imposed the tariffs on all the countries?
No, because he negotiated and they negotiated with us.
Okay, so how much money? Shut the fuck up. So
ain't
how much? Listen.
On their commitment to invest $10 trillion yet.
So how much money, under your belief system, did Trump bring to the United States with his negotiation of these tariffs?
Let me tell you one more thing here, buddy boy.
Okay.
First of all, tariff revenues are up 40%. I forget what the exact number is, but the overall thrust of the new import tariff policy is that the United States is collecting 40% more on imported goods in the space of a month and a half.
Okay.
And it's only going to go up.
All right, so that's what you believe. All right, so check this out.
That's a fact. Okay. Unless you think the government is lying, which you probably would say, because it doesn't comport with your silly narrative.
Donald Trump government's always lie. But listen, here's the fact, guys.
This is what I mean about you. If everything's inconvenient to your narrative, you just ignore it and dismiss it.
Okay, why are you? Why can't I got another caller.
Because you don't have a response for it.
Okay, I'm not, because you're lying. Listen.
You're a liar. How much you want to bet, Negro?
I don't want to bet you anything, but I want to.
Just a minute.
I don't want to bet you.
I will get the numbers for you in just a minute. Now, how much money are you willing to bet on this proposition?
Will you shut the fuck up?
In the last 8 weeks, tariffs have gone up considerably.
Okay, shut the fuck up. Listen, I got another
caller. Do you want to put some money on it or not?
I don't bet. So I got another caller.
I didn't think so, because you'll lose.
Okay, so I got another caller, but I'm going to say this.
Yeah. Go to them. You can't handle me, that's for damn sure.
Why the fuck are you still talking? Sarge is lying about every question I just asked him, right? The fact is, Trump backed off of China, Trump backed off of Mexico, Trump backed off the rest of the world on all of these tariffs. That's why the Wall Street Journal labeled him Taco, because he chickened out when it came to these tariffs. Trump seen how the tariffs was causing prices to be inflated, causing everything to go up, and causing the stock market to fucking fluctuate. So he backed off of these tariffs. And China is handing the United States... Shut the fuck up. Shut up. China is handing the United States their ass to kiss when it comes to these damn tariff wars. Because us putting tariffs on damn China don't even fucking matter. The United States have been so put down in the goddamn world that Donald Trump threatening tariffs to China, they said, fuck you, Donald Trump. Enact your goddamn tariffs. We're going to do reciprocal tariffs on you. And Donald Trump chickened out. That's what the fuck happened. Now, who's this unknown caller?
Tariffs are up 76%. That's even from Politico, and they hate Trump.
Right. What's up, Jim?
No, they don't. Politico does not hate Trump. Politico
are you calling them a liar? Just call a liar then.
They used to. Politico has turned cold.
They're getting the numbers from the U.S. Department of Trade. It's up 76%.
No. Political. I could pull up some articles. Everybody who wants fair and precise reporting no longer depends on Politico. Okay? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry.
The federal government says it. Call them a liar then, because I don't count the revenue. I don't know what they're getting. I have to rely on somebody. I'm going to rely on the report for right now, but do you prove it to be a lie?
Okay, go ahead. Let Jay go. Jay go. Go ahead, Jay.
I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Is he there? Jay, New York, we can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah. So, no, I was going to say, Sarge, with his yelling, as usual, the numbers that Sarge is getting, where he's getting them from?
I have no idea.
He said the federal government.
I don't know, Sarge, man. You just keep coming up with these stories.
Look, I don't count revenue, Jay. I have no idea of knowing how much is coming in. I got to rely on a third party for that, just like you.
Right. So, but this is what
I don't know. I'm not there at customs counting the money that is collected in the form of tariffs. So, like I said, I got to rely on some authoritative source, and in this case, I choose to rely on it. Now, if you could show me that it's not true, I will change my mind.
Well, economic experts say that all this, theatrical shit that Donald Trump did was not necessary. So, as you said that he was trying to get them to come to the negotiating table, right? Sarge, he didn't have to do that, but because he likes to do shit grandiose, like a TV show, he creates a script or a segment where, in order to give it some more, entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the man is so caught up in his way of doing things that he don't understand that's not the way things work out, right? It's not a TV show. And so, again, he didn't have to do that. Yes, we understand that there is some issues with, how much we paying, this, that, the other. But as grown mature professionals, right, people, they would, first of all, not even go public with it. They'll say, we're going to handle this behind the scenes. There's something we got to meet on. We got some issues. We got to straighten this out because it's not even now. He could have did that and had meetings with every leader that he needed to talk to about to fixing the import-export charges and things like that. He didn't have to do what he did. So in this whole theatrical shit, what end up happening is people end up paying for that shit. So there's a lot of money that's lost with him playing this game. And again, if he would have did it a better way, which that we all know that could have been done, most presidents do that, or at least, get to somewhere close, is, speaking, behind closed doors, and then once things is settled, then you can go public.
Okay.
I don't understand. This is
like our goods
he's like a
at 145%. We were tariffing their goods at 10%. Tell me how you go about getting them to stop these wildly unreciprocal tariffs. How do you think it should have been done?
Hold on.
Wow, that's silence. I asked a simple question. 145% on our goods. We tariff theirs at a 10% rate. How do you get them to equalize or somewhat, make somewhat balance these wildly unreciprocal tariffs? Give me the method Trump should have employed.
I'll tell you, and I'm not an economist and I'm not a tariff expert, but what you do is you take like the commodity, let's say steel, and if you're getting untreated fairly and you're getting treated unfairly with steel, then you adjust those levels, right? That won't affect the whole goddamn economy. You don't take and you put a blanket tariff on a whole goddamn country because you're not trading everything in that goddamn country. You're just trading those commodities, individual little commodities. That's what you're doing. So if it was steel and we was getting shitted on steel, then we need to have some type of adjustment with steel. If it was fucking, I don't know, eggplants or whatever the fuck, then we need to have some type of adjustments on eggplant. If it's some type of product, same difference. You take them step by step. You don't do what Donald Trump did and put tariffs on a whole goddamn country. That's how it could have been done different. Now, you asked the question.
You know what the European Union was tariffing American goods? You know what the rate the European Union was tariffing American goods?
Okay, well, you asked the question.
That was the European Union, not just China, the European Union. What was it? You know?
I don't know.
I didn't think you did. I didn't think you did. You know what? I mean, this is what gets me about this, man. They were putting on the United States tariffs in the neighborhood of 45 to 65%. They act like this is 1948 and we're still on the Marshall Plan. This is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now, look, I mean, something drastic needed to be done to get across these hard-headed status quo motherfuckers who've been used to the state of affairs since 48, that it ain't the end of World War II anymore.
Okay, so listen, you said something drastic needed to be done. Something drastic got done. Nothing changed from that drastic action, you fucking moron. Mama's boy, welcome to the show.
Yes, it did. Hey, we're getting infinitely more revenue now.
Y'all go ahead. I'm listening.
I mean, you're oblivious to fact. That's your problem. We're getting more revenue now, and you say, no, we're not. Even though the numbers are there, no, we're not.
Where's the revenue?
Because they don't comport with your narrative.
Where is the revenue, Sarge?
Your narrative's all that matters with you.
Where is the revenue is my question. Where is it?
The revenue is coming to the United States Treasury. Go ahead.
No, I don't see it.
Listen.
I can't see them numbers.
There is no revenue, and the whole Department of Government Efficiency that got put up there to increase the goddamn revenue, that motherfucking Elon Musk quit. He not there no goddamn more. They didn't find these $2 trillion that they was supposed to be looking for. They don't know what the fuck they doing, Sarge. Trump don't know what the fuck he's doing. Elon Musk ain't never ran no goddamn government. These motherfuckers is up here stealing motherfucking money. The only successful thing that Trump has did was manipulate the stock market in such a way to enrich him and his goddamn cronies. Mm-hmm. And he's got a bill. It ain't passed everything yet, but he's got a bill to enrich him and his goddamn cronies. That is the successful shit that Donald Trump is doing. He ain't doing shit to bring shit to the American people. Jobs were lost. People got fired.
Right.
People died because of the decision of Elon Musk and goddamn Donald Trump. And until you acknowledge that, you're just pissing in the goddamn wind, hoping for goddamn pipe dreams or whatever the fuck you hoping for these people to save your stupid motherfucking ass. I don't know what else to tell you, Sarge.
Now, another thing, real quick. Another thing in addition to that,
this
right?
This is from the United States Treasury. I'm not going to narrate. I'm not going to filibuster. Jay asked me a question. I'd like to answer Jay's question. Jay, hold on, Jay. I'm ready to answer your question, Jay.
I didn't finish.
Well, Jay, it doesn't matter. You asked the question, I can answer. Then if you want to, you can ask me another one.
Answer my question after this. I just want to
I'm answering it. Will you shut up and let me answer?
No, hold on. Let me finish what I got to say.
I mean, look, you can ask me another question.
You see how he is? Shut up for like 20
You don't want an answer. You want to fucking try to trip me up.
No. I wanna finish what I'm saying, and then you say what you gotta say. I was gonna say, in addition to that, they didn't do that shit for free. So how much did those charge, or Elon Musk charge, to do all those services, which is an additional fucking charge right now that we gotta pay for? Who's paying for that?
Now you got your second question in. Let me answer the first question. I'm going to answer the first question first. All right, the United States collected $7.6 billion more in custom duties in April than did in March. The total number of customs duties collected in April was $16.3 billion. That is a sharp increase since the start of the fiscal year in October. And most of this comes after the Trump tariffs.
This motherfucker peanuts.
63 billion in custom duties, and they are getting more. The tariffs is increasing sharply. It's up 70% in March alone. It's going to be up more next month.
All right, so let me check this.
I don't need to filibuster to answer a simple matter of fact.
All right, so I just opened somebody's line. Who line did I open?
Good God!
Yeah, hey, Tyrone.
Hey, what's up, Joe? I forgot to call you back, man. I'm sorry. But what's up, man?
That's all right. We can talk about what my issue here. But look, man, how much? Well, we unpack all the Sarge. You said, Sarge, where did you get your tariff numbers from? What formula are they based on?
Department. United
What
States.
formula are they based on?
United States Treasury Department. Go there. Go to their website and look it up. I'm not going to give you no link or nothing. You find it on your own, so you can steering you to anything.
Calm down, Sarge.
No, I know how you guys operate, so I'm not going to take no chances on your bullshit. What? Go look it up yourself.
Well, let Joe finish, man. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I did look it up, and that chart that Trump held up, the formula that they use is flawed. And every mathematician that analyzed that formula has said that it makes no sense. Number one. So your argument.
Hold on, Sarge.
You can go.
I didn't hear what you said. You said it makes no sense.
Yes. Mathematicians all over the internet said that formula made no sense. And if you analyze the formula and
who said it?
He just said it.
How about you Google it?
Let him finish, Sarge. Let him finish, Sarge.
I went to the Treasury Department. They collect the money.
Yeah.
Sarge, listen.
Listen.
Hold on. Listen. Wait a minute. Listen. Hey, guys, listen. Wait a minute, Joe. Look, the numbers that Trump is pulling from the fucking government, from the Treasury Department, that is Trump's people in there writing goddamn fucking whatever the fuck to bolster up their bullshit. Yeah. So, Sarge, you're right. You probably did get it from the Treasury Department, but you got a Trump loyalist ass kisser up in the goddamn Treasury Department. So you have to go other places, and that's what Joe did. Was he seen that other people was validating the numbers that was put out there, and that's what he's trying to explain to you if you shut the fuck up. God damn, go ahead, Joe.
I hear it, man. Don't leave the government all of a sudden now. Now all of a sudden you're suspicious of the government. That's really rich. That's really good. Go ahead, Joe.
Any high school mathematician, if you break down the formula, will say it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense mathematically. And you're basing your tariff formula on this formula. If your formula is flawed, then your tariff will be flawed. Do you understand that, Sarge?
Yeah, I understand that. I understand the value. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay,
your
I got
underlying,
that. That I understand. Yes.
God damn it! Will you quit cutting me off?
Oh, you asked me if I understood. I said yes, Joe. I understand it, Joe.
It's a yes. It's a yes or no, Sarge. You don't have to say it.
I understand it, Joe. Right? You're not right, though.
Yeah. Oh, really? Explain how I'm not right. Break the formula down for me.
Yes, really.
When you got announced policies by both the foreign government and the United States government, they both agree on a trade rate or a tariff rate, and you impute the number of goods coming into the country, then it is easy to figure out what those revenues are. And it makes sense to me based upon what the Treasury Department is saying. Again, it's a circular argument. If the formula they're using is flawed, then everything else will be flawed behind it.
Give me the formula that they're using then. Give it to me.
Right?
And I'll run it up.
Look. No. You can break down the formula. Yeah. I don't have it in front of me. I analyze this. I'm at work right now.
This is correct.
But since you are sitting at home in your computer, Google Trump's tariff formula, and you will see mathematicians all over the place explaining how it's wrong and where it's wrong.
Okay.
And it has to do with the constant. It has to do with a 1/4. Listen to me. God damn it! Listen to me. They add a 25% constant, which makes no sense, to the bottom of the equation. That's the key right there.
Give me a rough percentage of how much is off by.
I can't tell you that right now, but I will gladly give you the details.
Well, what? Okay, get back to me then. I want you to tell me, even a rough estimate is good enough.
Absolutely.
How much is the government reporting off by?
The second thing is this. The second thing
of their error.
Tyrone, this is useless, man, because I'm just going to get talking.
Not useless, sir. I'm asking you a question about your own argument. You just said you didn't know. You just said you didn't know. That's okay. I just
wanted to find out what his opinion was when people was saying that Trump chickened out all the time, and I found out, he still supports Trump.
You think Trump's a trading colluded with Russia?
Tyrone, hold
you think I'm gonna respond to this shit like it's supposed to mean something?
Can you mute him a second, please? Because he had his time. I'd like to say something. Can you mute him a second, if you don't mind?
Go ahead, Joe.
I'd love to listen to what you got to say.
Okay, hold on, sorry. Let Joe get it out. Don't interrupt him. You always complain about being muted. How about be quiet? Be quiet for a second.
Like I said, I'm waiting to hear what you got to say, Joe.
There we go. Never mind. Forget it, Tyrone. This is going nowhere.
I say I'm waiting to hear what you got to say, and then you don't want it. So who's not?
Well, you don't have to listen. You don't have to announce, nigga. You don't have to announce when Joe get ready to talk. you just let him talk. I just shut up. Just let him talk. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, and part of the problem with these tariffs is they originally sold them to their base as a tax on the governments of these other countries. And now these guys are realizing it's a tax on the purchaser, you. And his people are waking up all around the country saying, wait a minute, hold on. I ordered this product and it's costing, a surcharge of X amount of dollars. Yes, you're getting more revenue because you're taking it from your own people. And that's the thing. I don't understand how you guys can't understand that. You are taxing Americans with a tariff. You are not taxing another country. You are taxing Americans. You are taking more revenue because you are taking it from American pockets. Foreign countries are not paying tariffs. They don't. That's not what a tariff is. A tariff is a tax on the importer, the purchaser, not the supplier.
It's some real nasty work.
Okay. So sorry. Do you
you know, Mama's boy? They were selling this as we're going to show China by putting a tariff on them, and they didn't say it exactly, but the implication was we are going to make China pay more.
Well, I can give you a real world example. Is that I buy drones all the time, right? And DJI is the world's biggest drone maker, and their newest drone, I cannot buy it from the damn website because they ain't selling it to goddamn Americans. I mean, it's going to cost me more. It's going to cost me more to buy that goddamn drone than it would have if Trump went and did these goddamn tariffs. But I was getting ready to
Tyrone, real quick. I mean, I hate to make it even sound worse, but it's still a fact. The real nasty part about it is it brings in such little income into the government, but it breaks down so many of its citizens.
Yeah, and when Sarge was talking a while ago, this is what I was thinking. When Sarge was talking a while ago, and if revenue is going up coming into the country, the American people will not see that revenue. And what Donald Trump is doing probably is he's trying to find a way to funnel that revenue into his own coffers, just like he doing that damn airplane. I mean, that is blatant illegal shit that he's doing with the airplane. But we see Donald Trump in front of our face taking a $400 million goddamn gift from Qatar and telling us right in front of our face that this is not America's, it belonged to me. And the reason, the way he's doing that is by saying that it is being gifted to the Defense Department. And once my term is up, I'm going to put it in my presidential library. That is just so fucking obvious that he's taking money from the American people, because we're going to have to pay to fucking repair it, do whatever the fuck we need to do to it and all that kind of bullshit. And he's going to take it home with him. And he's probably doing this revenue the same goddamn way.
It's probably going to be at least $1 billion of our tax dollars to refit that damn.
Yeah, instead of $5.3 billion from the assembly line, sure.
Sorry, let me ask you this: what if Barack Obama would have got? What if Barack Obama would have got an airplane from another country?
All right, look, you changing the subject. I'd like to go back to tariffs, if you don't mind. Then I come back to the plane, okay? How about if we deal with the tariff issue? Then we come back.
I'm not finished yet, though.
Okay?
I'm not finished.
We'll let Joe finish.
I had something else I'd like to say about tariffs.
I mean, you always got something to say.
Go after Joe.
And change the subject.
Okay, I'm sorry about saying the subject, but go after Joe finish.
And I gotta wait till everybody gets through filibustering before I can make the point I wanted to make before they started filibustering.
Okay, we'll let you go. We'll let you go right after Joe finishes. Go ahead, Joe.
Thank you. Well, I'll be willing to wait and get through with this filibuster.
Oh, now we get an announcement that you won. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to address an issue that came up the other day, Tyrone. Just to skew sideways for a second, all right? I don't know if you're aware of it, but All Facts is back. And he's doing his All Facts shit all over again. And so here we are, we're in 2025, and we're going back in time to whatever year he is. Now, he claims ABC invited him on the show, back on the show. I don't know if that's true or not. You know, if ABC is inviting him on the show, my suggestion to ABC is control your monkeys, brother. We don't need them all over the place. If he's on your show, then leave him on your show. But, you know, it's crazy all over again. And, I mean, in 2025, it makes no fucking sense. This is nuts. You know, dude records the shows. He records us. You know, I mean, this is ridiculous, man. Are we going to go through all of this again? We went through this 2 or 3 times. So, you know, that's all I got to say, man. You know, you don't have to respond now. You think about it.
Can I respond now to what I want to say about the tariffs now, Tyrone?
Yeah, I'm done.
Can I respond now, Tyrone?
Go ahead.
All right, okay. Your arguments against the Trump tariffs are every single argument I have ever raised against every single tax that's been imposed on the American people since I've been coming on TRS. You are echoing my arguments. I'm against taxes because, as a general rule, other than that which is essential for legitimate government functions, because of the very reasons that you stated. So I'm in accordance with you on this one, which is why I'm so mystified that you're so adamant against this particular tax, especially since this tax has the saving grace of you being able to avoid it by not buying imported goods. Now, I know you can argue to me, I can't get it nowhere but from China. Well, still, you just do without it. It's probably not something that you just can't live your life without, and you could completely avoid the tax or the tariff for the most part by simply not buying the Chinese good or whatever it is that's coming from overseas. So it's a tax you can avoid. Unlike most of the taxes that are imposed on the American taxpayer, of which you got no damn choice about. And this is bringing more revenue into the federal government, no matter how you slice it, whether you think the formula is off by 10, 15, 20, 25%, the federal government is getting more money. And usually you guys love the idea of any taxation that's bringing money into the federal government. So I'm trying to understand why all this angst over this particular form of taxation.
Sorry, you sound like a fucking fool. You sound like a goddamn fool.
You sound like a dummy who can't understand an argument.
Okay, hold on, Sarge. I'm gonna mute you for 1 second. Sarge told us to not buy imported goods. That's what his solution was for America. America don't make shit. America don't make that fucking phone that you're talking on right now, nigga. America don't make those parts that go in your motherfucking car. America don't make them drawers that you got on your ass. And America don't make that fucking MAGA hat that you wearing, nigga. America don't make shit. So you're going to be walking around here ass out without shit. You're not even going to be able to watch goddamn TV, Sarge. Do you understand that? You're not going to be able to do shit in your house that you have right now. None of that goddamn dishes in your goddamn kitchen. What the fuck? Everything in your motherfucking house came from goddamn China, Sarge. And you can't say that you went out and specifically bought American brand products because that is a motherfucking lie. Everything your ass have on right now probably came from motherfucking China or somewhere outside the goddamn country because America don't make shit no more, motherfucker. You are one of the goddamn Republicans when these fucking corporations were shipping jobs over goddamn seas. You probably agreed with that shit because you was agreeing with the goddamn corporation making more income because, you know, trickle down. The more money that they make, the more money they're going to give to their employees, which was bullshit. They shitted us, Sarge. They lied to us and told us whenever they shipped jobs overseas that the income would go to the goddamn American people. That was a fucking lie. And now that they're all overseas and they're making record goddamn profits, that shit is not coming back. China is capitalizing off of American stupidity by outsourcing all the fucking jobs that we had in this goddamn country, the textile industry. All of that shit is gone over goddamn seas. So when you say don't buy foreign goods, Sarge, you sound like a goddamn asshole at this point in time. I'm just telling you, everything is made outside of this goddamn country, you fucking moron. I'm done.
So you don't believe that the pledged $10 trillion in investments will come to fruition? That's obvious. You don't
okay. $10 trillion in investments. Let's take that. I hear your point. Let's take let's take $20 trillion in investments. Let's take your $20 trillion and try to produce shit in America right now. This is a fucking thought goddamn lesson. $20 trillion. You're going to have to build motherfucking factories. You're going to have to buy equipment. You're going to have to create a whole motherfucking system all across this motherfucking country so people can work at these motherfuckers. Sarge, what you're talking about is not going to happen in your motherfucking lifetime. So stop talking that stupid ass shit. You ain't getting that
equipment over here, Tyrone. The equipment that you need, you're going to have to manufacture it here. That's something else going to be a problem.
Just because you get your ass tore up. I need to mute you to tear your ass up because you won't let me talk, nigga.
That's the only way you can do it, you dirty bastard. You gotta tie both my hands behind my back. Cocksucker son of a bitch.
You just closing your goddamn mouth. He ain't tying both your hands behind your back.
Sarge just said that we want to be the
motherfucker mutes me like he don't do no fucking body.
Because you won't let me talk. You never let me talk.
Hold on, let's clarify this. You said that we're dependent on all these other countries, right? Okay, cool. Like you're talking about us right here and individuals here. All right, Sarge. So let me give you a challenge, Sarge. I want you to go in your house and take everything that's from another country that was made and throw that shit out, start from scratch, and buy all American products. If you are a true patriot of the United States of America, I want you to go into your house, take everything that's imported from somewhere else and destroy it and get all new American products to replace it, Sarge. Are you going to do that for us, for the United States of America?
No, I'm not throwing away any of my property. I paid my money for it, but
I guarantee you.
No, hold on. Better question. Wait a minute.
To create a regime that will enable me to buy United States products. See, I got to do this because I ain't got no other choice.
No, Sarge, listen.
Let me finish a fucking sentence.
Sarge, a better question from Jay is it possible to do that? Do you think that it's possible for anybody to do that?
What did I just say? As you see, if you listen to me, I wouldn't have to fucking repeat it twice.
Okay.
But you had to interrupt.
Now, see, here's the problem, and I explained this to him the other day. These pledges are not going to be fulfilled. What's the obligation to fulfill? Trump is only going to be in office for 3.5 more years. Yeah, 3.5 more years. And like I said, business cycles work on 5 and 10 year cycles, not 3.5. So they're already planning past Trump.
Well,
right now,
they
have a whole bunch of smart people.
I want to get back
to
this.
Saying, what is the world going to be like? Yeah.
I want to get back to his stupid ass suggestion where he's telling people not to buy foreign goods. I don't know where
you're a lying bastard. I said no such fucking thing.
Like coffee?
I said you can avoid the tax that you're complaining about by not buying foreign goods.
Like firearms.
God damn it, it's your choice.
Wasn't he buying Russian ammunition?
Did you hear me, Joe?
Yeah, wasn't he buying Russian ammunition? Yeah.
Like firearms. He's going to have to throw out his whole arsenal.
But I ain't buying it right now because it's not even available.
Yeah, he's going to have to throw his whole arsenal away, man. Trust me.
You just come on here and say stupid shit.
I'm buying Israeli ammunition. I'm buying PMC ammunition. That's available.
Sarge, you're not a patriot.
And the price on is pretty good, even with the left.
Now it starts to come out. It starts to come out now.
Listen, you're doing the very same shit you say you against. You telling us don't do this, don't do that, and you buying fucking foreign shit.
I'm not telling you to do anything. I said you can avoid the tariffs if you choose to. You're the ones that order people around, not me.
Sorry, that's the whole point. You can't avoid it.
Sorry. You just gave me an order to get rid of my property if it comes from another country.
Sorry, that's the point. Sorry, the overall point is we so wrapped up in that's the point that I was trying to make. We so wrapped up in the way they do it, the economics. Now we can't avoid buying foreign shit, man. There ain't no way in the hell. Ain't no way.
Right, and he wouldn't be able
I believe in the future, if we can get these goddamn fucking tyrants in black robes out of the way, we'll be able to do exactly that.
So now judges are tyrants. Now, what happened to the Democrats being tyrants? Then the judges are tyrants.
Yeah, tyrants are people who arbitrarily seize power, not delegated to them. Trump and any president was delegated the power to impose tariffs.
Are those the same judges that you want black people to listen to? Those are tyrants.
You love to change the fucking subject, nigga. You getting your ass beat.
Hey, wait till one of them batteries goes out on one of his halo sites on his motherfucking AR-15. He gonna want to talk to China too.
Motherfucker, you ought to see my stash of goddamn batteries, motherfucker. I got batteries for the next 50 years.
So
okay, well, thing, right? You're a fool because batteries don't last 50 years. So I don't know. I don't know why the fuck you bought 50 years.
And you better know how to recondition them too.
50 years worth of goddamn batteries, you idiot. They don't last 50 years.
I won't last 50 years more, so that's okay. They'll last for the remainder of my lifetime. I'm certain of that.
You need to know how to recondition.
Again, you would, even if you wanted to get rid of every product that was imported from your house, you wouldn't be able to because you would not be able to replace it with American goods. Every product in your house that is foreign, I guarantee you, dominates what you have that is American. All right? Even your American flag is not from America.
Yeah,
right?
even
from China.
The drawers that you got on, your T-shirts, all that shit, man, come from other places, man. The textile industry.
No, that is substantively true. That does not mean it's going to be this way forever if Trump's brand works, and I'm not guaranteeing that it will. I'm saying it's worth a shot.
Trump don't know how to plan shit. Yeah, right. Trump can't even plan. Trump don't know how to plan a goddamn. What is wrong with you? God damn.
What's wrong with you is you got Trump derangement syndrome. You can't see logic. You want us to stay this way and be more and more dependent on everybody else in the goddamn world and never get on. That's why the black community is the way it is right now. Because the niggas like you.
See. Now, see, when you go running off because of personal attacks, just remember this moment.
I ain't worried about it. Are you listening to what they saying about me, nigga?
Yeah, we ain't talking shit about it. But listen, Sarge, Trump said that he was going to end the goddamn war. He chicken out with that shit too. Vladimir Putin is fucking bombing Ukraine. The fucking Israel is fucking goddamn causing a genocide over there. That shit didn't, and even fucking Pakistan and fucking whoever the fuck else that, not Pakistan, but who was them?
India and Pakistan.
India and Pakistan. Was it India and Pakistan?
Yeah, you own it. Keep going.
Yeah, Trump ain't did shit, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? There is not one thing that he's done that when he came into office that he said he was going to do on day one. So I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you and why you still got your head.
Nigga, Trump has control of whether the United States goes to war. He has no control over India and Pakistan, who've been fighting wars with each other since fucking 1948. Get off that shit.
Sorry, these are listen. Okay, hold on. Sorry, these aren't my words. These aren't my words. Donald Trump said that he was going to end the conflict in Ukraine when he got nominated. Not even when he got in office. When he was nominated to be president, he said he was going to end the conflict. And Vladimir Putin is playing Trump like a little bitch. That's what Vladimir Putin, and you are a little bitch because Vladimir Putin is playing you too. Because you called in here and said that Trump was going to fucking do all this shit. He was going to handle the goddamn conflict in Ukraine. You said that shit. And you believe what this fucking lying piece of shit said. And you ain't man enough to say Trump was wrong. You ain't man enough to say I'm wrong about what I thought Trump was going to do in Ukraine. And the other, and you just continually just steady support this son of a bitch for I don't know why. What the fuck did Trump have over you?
I think that's the very fuel, Tyrone, that you speaking of, because he can't back the shit up. He has to double down. He's not gonna go backwards. That would weaken Trump.
Okay. So let thought process. Why do they do this? Why the fuck do they continually support this lying piece of shit? What the fuck does Trump have over you guys? I don't get it.
Nigga, you asked me a question, you won't let me answer it.
Okay, go ahead.
Why the fuck do you do that?
I can answer that.
Why the fuck do you do that?
Let Sarge go.
And you don't let me answer the goddamn
question. Answer the damn question, Sarge. Sarge,
don't have a damn home.
Shut the fuck up for a minute.
Okay, I'll shut up.
You can talk now, Sarge.
Let me tell you something about Ukraine, nigga.
Yeah,
let me tell you something about Ukraine, nigga. Vladimir Putin has announced on June 2nd he is proposing a delegation to begin peace talks with Ukraine. Now, what do you think about that, motherfucker?
Okay, I'll tell you what I think about that. So I'm going to have to mute you first. Vladimir Putin is a fucking liar, just like Donald Trump. When Donald Trump said that they were going to first sit down, Vladimir Putin bombed fucking Ukraine. When they were supposed to meet in Uzbekistan or whatever the fuck that was, it's Istanbul or whatever the fuck, Vladimir Putin bombed fucking Kiev. And then this past week right here, Donald Trump told Vladimir Putin to stop again, and he bombed Ukraine. So fuck Vladimir Putin and what the fuck he said. We're talking about the president of the United States and his promises to us, nigga. So what the fuck you talking about? They got this planned meeting. Vladimir Putin planned meetings all the goddamn time, and he always lie. So I ain't talking about this motherfucker. I don't give a shit about Vladimir Putin. I'm talking about the power that the president of the United States is supposed to have on the world stage, Sarge. Why is Donald Trump so fucking weak? And why the fuck is you following a weak motherfucker?
Let me answer the question. Don't nobody say shit.
Go ahead.
All right, let me answer the question. Here's the answer. How many goddamn peace proposals did you hear from Vladimir Putin when that senile fucking marionette was in office? Zero. All the shit that's happening now is a direct result of what Trump has done. That's why.
Okay, so let me respond to that. You didn't hear no peace proposal from Joe Biden because Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and previous presidents enacted fucking economic sanctions on Russia to kind of cool their goddamn heels. That's what you heard from the previous presidents was these goddamn sanctions. Donald Trump is so much of a bitch that he lifted the goddamn sanctions, and then Donald Trump is so much of a bitch that he got on the phone with Vladimir Putin the other day. Vladimir Putin lied to his goddamn face, and he, guess what? Bombed motherfucking Ukraine goddamn again. So Donald Trump is a fucking bitch. I don't know what listen, this whole meeting that you're talking about that Donald Trump's that ain't Donald Trump's motherfucking idea, because Donald Trump ain't in goddamn war. I'm trying to hold Donald Trump to the damn promises that he made before he was the goddamn president, which he said that he was going to stop the goddamn war on day one. Speak the fucking that. All this bullshit that you talk. Tell us why he ain't stopped the goddamn war, Sarge.
He was wrong about that, but he's right about what he's doing because it's getting the parties closer together. So I ain't got no problem with it. You do. Fuck you. I don't give a shit about what you think about Trump because you're goddamn it deranged.
Oh my God.
So no, he's coming closer than anybody else has recently to solving the problem.
Donald
Trump.
That's
good enough for me.
Vladimir Putin is using Donald Trump as a little bitch.
He was wrong, Tyrone. So fucking what?
Well, what you got to realize, let's take that.
How about 2 weeks to slow the spread?
Okay,
so wrong about that? Fuck that. I ain't worried about that bullshit. It's all politics any goddamn way.
Oh,
I'm worried about the final outcome.
Now you're not worried. So let's take that he was wrong.
Right. I'm not as much the way you say it.
Let's take that he was wrong, right? And we agree that he was wrong about that, right?
I just said that. And he's closer to getting a peace settlement than that fucking Biden was, who wanted to keep the war going at the expense of more dead Ukrainians.
Okay, so if he was wrong about that, was he wrong about other issues?
Not many.
Okay, so now we're backtracking.
He was right more than he was wrong.
I thought I had you, but we're backtracking. If he's wrong about that...
You asked me a question, nigga. I answered the goddamn question right away.
Okay.
He was wrong about some things and right about most things.
I don't know. There ain't nothing I can say to you. I mean, I'm at a loss. You're going to do you.
Yeah, well, look, man, I don't expect the perfect to be the enemy of the good. You act like you overlook what that senile bastard wasn't even running his goddamn administration let happen to this country, didn't have a goddamn thing to say about it.
No. Okay, so I'm glad you brought up Joe Biden. Listen, guys, it was announced that Joe Biden has some type of cancer. So I don't know if it's they said it metastatic, and I know when I hear metastatic, that means aggressive, and so I don't know what the outcome for Joe Biden is, and I just wish him the best. I don't wish nobody to be ill like that. So I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but that's what they just said. Not just said, a couple of days ago I heard that. But see, when you're a Trumper, you don't have sympathy for people who's ill like Donald Trump, like Sarge do. Sarge don't have sympathy that this guy was announced to have cancer. He still want to drive home hard the political view that Joe Biden was somehow dangerous and all this kind of dumb shit.
We were lied to about it.
Okay, so I mean that's you and your point of view. If that's what you think, then that's what you think.
That's the truth, and you know it. They covered it up.
Well, no, I don't think that's what was going on. We did watch Joe Biden age real quick in that office, and he was too old to run for president anyway. So we know that office ages you, and if you did the job, and Donald Trump ain't doing the job. So that's why you watching Donald Trump act the way he act, because he ain't really involved in world affairs. He's making our allies our enemies. He's kissing up to the fucking dictators. So that's probably why you watching Donald Trump act the way he act. But no,
Tyrone,
go ahead.
We also don't know if he don't have stage 4 cancer because they be lying about his medical shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what we don't know, we do know, eh? That makes sense.
That's what the hell you just said when you said Joe Biden lied about it.
The man said he got metastatic prostate cancer. Metastatic almost never manifests itself in 2 or 3 months. It was going on for years.
You don't
know that. You know it.
You don't know that.
Oh, shit, man. I swear. You live in cloud cuckoo land.
Well, you don't know that. Neither one of us.
He don't even know if his president is sick. How the fuck is he gonna know if Joe Biden was sick?
I don't know. If you have information that he is, let me know, will you? I don't know. You're right.
Well, this is what I do know, Sarge. I know Donald Trump is the only goddamn president in the world history that ain't never released his goddamn true health record. That's a fact. We don't know what the fuck wrong with Donald Trump.
I see that man go on extended press conferences, answering questions for an hour or more.
I didn't ask you what you see.
I'm satisfied he has the necessary cognitive ability to be president. I've witnessed him in action, and I'm satisfied that he has the ability to do the job. Now, if you don't like it, don't vote for him again. Oh, that's right. You can't vote for him again.
I said release his records. I didn't say what. I didn't say what you saw. I don't give a fuck what you saw. I want to see the records. I want to see the documents.
Look, well then, you know, I want to see Obama's birth certificate, and people in hell want ice water. So fucking what?
You seen the birth certificate?
That's his comeback.
Well, Tyrone,
go ahead, Alicia.
I'm sure the country of Mattel would like to know what his records are. I'm sure all of the sex change operations that's happening during gym class in middle school would like to know what Donald Trump's true medical records are. I can keep going. Going with all the delusional foolishness that he says.
I'm only interested in those things that allow him to be president. I don't give a fuck about the rest of it. You know, you got to show you're a natural-born citizen to be president. And Obama has never given any information to show that he's a natural-born citizen qualified to be president of the United States.
Okay, you're stupid going down
I
that
do.
road again.
I do.
So I don't care if I really had a sex change or not. I give a fuck. That's not a qualification to be president. Being a natural-born citizen is.
And he was a natural-born citizen.
The man was born in Hawaii.
So,
and you're wrong about most things legally.
Harassing that. But I would like for my president to know the company that I buy my collective dolls from. It's not a country. I think that's very important. Instead of the birther mess that keeps getting brought up. I think it's very important.
Hold on. He called Mattel a country.
Yes, he said Mattel was a country. Barbie.
Wait a minute. Who said Mattel was a country?
Donald
Trump. No, Mattel, the toy company. Mattel,
he said that they were a country,
the dog company.
And he was mad because the CEO of Mattel has an accent. The person who they made the CEO, and he was saying, "Well, the country of Mattel,
what
and
a
the
dumb
country and just because the CEO has an accent, so it's very important."
Wait a minute. When was this statement made and where?
God damn.
When was this statement made and where?
In the Oval Office, wait a minute, I'll pull it right up. Trump thinks Mattel is a country. Put my glasses on. Which article you want me to pick? BBC, the Daily Beast, y'all love them, New York Magazine, MSNBC. I can pull up the video. Trump thinks Mattel, Tyrone, I'm going to send you, but let me see if I have a hard time sending videos. Play on mobile. I'll play it. Y'all want me to play it? Let me turn up my
I'd like to hear
volume.
it. I want to make sure it's free of you guys to store.
Because I have a hard time sending videos. Well, I want to send it, Tyrone. Let me see. I can send you.
Try it first. Try it first before you play it.
Yeah,
let me you guys distort everything.
No, I'm not distorting nothing. Trump called.
I said I'd like to hear it to ensure that you're not.
Mattel.
Yeah, he the Trump police. He the Trump police.
You're damn right. I better be, because we need somebody to enforce the law on you motherfuckers.
Oh, Peckerwood.
You got some problems.
Wait a minute. Because the only time, whenever I try to send videos, it goes straight to YouTube. Wait a minute, let me see.
You got an Apple. Can you right click and copy link?
Well, I'd rather have Trump say that if he said it than Donald Trump. The ERA had been passed as an amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
I would not rather him say that because Mattel makes toys. So no. I would rather not.
M-T-O-W. You mean Mattel, the toy maker? M-A-T-T-E-L?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Now, hold on, Tyrone.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see if this is...
Tyrone, there you go. I think I sent it because, I've been doing... When you said right-click, I've been doing it wrong all this time. Sometimes I can right-click. Sometimes I can't.
Let's see if this is it. Let's see if this is it.
There it is. Yeah, you can just type it in Google.
The only country I've heard, they said, well, we're going to go counter. We're going to try going someplace else.
Let's see if this is it. Hold on for a second. I think I found it. So let's see if this is it. You tell me if this is it.
Mattel,
I sent it as well.
I'm not so sure. They also said, they're the only country I've heard, they said, well, we're going to go counter. We're going to try going someplace else. That's okay. Let him go, and we'll put 100% tariff on his toys. And he won't sell one toy in the United States, and that's their biggest market. I heard that. I mean, I watched this guy talking about how I'm going to go counter. I said, well, I wouldn't want to have him as an executive too long.
Okay, so he was alluding to the country. Let me try your link, and then let's see if...
Wait a minute, you talking about Mattel or MGTOW?
No, he said the toy company.
Mattel.
Well, you said MGTOW, M-G-T-O-W, men going their own way.
No, we're talking about...
No, it's a... MGTOW does not make toys.
I know
Mattel does.
So you could have figured that out on your own. You heard him say toys, nigga.
Hell, I know you were talking about a toy maker.
Y'all got too much of a class to catch this nigga up before y'all can even argue with the nigga.
The guy, man, you gonna blame me for the way you pronounce words?
No, sorry. Listen, hold on. Let me explain. The whole conversation came around Donald Trump telling little girls they can only have like 2 dolls or whatever the fuck. And then I guess they cornered him in the Oval Office and they was asking about toys.
What happened was, Tyrone, the CEO, that started it. But then the CEO of Mattel, because they had to do a lot of layoffs, because, they get, I think like 40% of their, because Mattel, they made toys in the United States way back in the 60s, but they've been moved their operation overseas. So much of this, I think like 30 or 40% comes from China. Another percentage comes from Taiwan, Vietnam. So that's where their toys, they've been moved production out of the United States. And they moved the last of their production out when, the trade thing and all of that, the last little bit. But they have been making their toys overseas for years. And that's why you're just going to put a tariff on it. It's an American company, 100% tariff. And the CEO came out explaining to the board members. They had a meeting with all of the board members and all of the this and that. And they were stating about their prices and everything was going to have to go up and this and that. And that they understood what the administration, because it was a whole big thing. And I watched the entire video of the CEO. And because of the tariffs and because of this and that, and that Trump and them were leaning on them to move all of their production to the United States when they've been making toys overseas. And the CEO said, no, we're not going to do that. Because the only way that we can hire designers and creators and pay them the big bucks that we paid them, we're able to bring the product that we produce and that we did to the United States at the cost that we're able to do it. So we're not bringing manufacturing back to the United States. And it got to Trump, and for some reason, he doesn't know Mattel, the toy company, is not a country. It's a company. Now play my video.
Okay, I'm getting ready to play it now. I downloaded it, so hold on.
I was thinking about that children's story, the little engine that could or that couldn't or whatever, as I was preparing for today's show, because we seem to have this sort of The trade deal that couldn't.
Pac-Man.
The trade deal
ma'am.
between the
I know
United
her
States
voice.
and the United Kingdom that supposedly was going to be announced yesterday in this big Oval Office event, and then Donald Trump shows up, and he's, you know, as he often finds himself these days, kind of hunched over, and doesn't really have anything to announce. A massive, massive letdown, and a feeble and confused Trump referred to the toy company Mattel as a country in really just a complete and total deflation of what we expected to be some massive announcement. Now, we had reasons to suspect this was not going to be the big accomplishment that Trump had led us to believe, but we'll get to that in a moment. But after days of promoting massive trade deal, the start of incredible winning and success, Trump says, the trade deal with the UK, it's not really finalized and it's not really a deal. And of course, in the context of days of hype, the art of the deal falling just a little bit short, as Donald Trump likes to say.
There won't be any red tape. Things are going to move very quickly both ways. The final details are being written up in the coming weeks. We'll have it all very conclusive, but the actual deal is a very conclusive one. We think just about everything's been approved. So good for both countries.
Think of that. It hasn't quite been written up yet. The deals are going to be written really soon. We've got 40 monkeys sitting at 40 different typewriters, and we just need to give them time to tap away.
Fast forward it
before
up
you know it, we're going to have
back
a deal.
in office.
We think most of it is probably legal. Not exactly a vow of confidence. We're pretty sure nothing is overtly against the law in what we're thinking. And much like the healthcare bill of 2020, it's just days or weeks away. By the way, later in the show, we're going to get back to a victory that we were led to believe. Now, maybe the strangest moment, he just doesn't that this is a defeated, shrunken man in Trump, a very orange, defeated, shrunken man. I see that with my own eyes. But he just doesn't seem with it. Trump acting as if the one country they're really moving along with is the toy company Mattel. Now, as you know, and as I know, Mattel is not a country. It's a company. But here's what Trump had to say about that.
Mattel, I don't know, I'm not so sure. They also said, they're the only country I've heard, they said, well, we're going to go counter. We're going to try going someplace else. That's okay.
The only...
Okay, so sorry, that was it. Did you hear that?
Tyrone, there's 198 countries in the world. Can you name them all?
Okay, hold on. Let's do this correctly.
You know any president?
Wait. Hold on.
You know any president in the United States could name all 198 countries in the world?
Okay, Sarge, listen. The point is
not. I'm just saying. Okay,
don't do it.
Sarge.
So tell me something. Does that mean he's a senile?
Get back in the car, Sarge.
Listen. The point ain't whether or not Trump can name all the countries in the world. Now, I want you to acknowledge that you just heard the same thing that I just heard, so we can have a conversation about that. Because that is the topic of the conversation. The topic was Donald Trump called Mattel, the toy company, a country, and that's what we are discussing. We're not having some type of intellectual conversation on who can name the most goddamn countries. Now, I'm going to play it again. And when I open your line, I want you to let me know, did you hear that or didn't you hear it, so we can move forward with the conversation. God damn. So I'm going to play it one more time.
Country they're really moving along with is the toy company Mattel. Now, as you know, and as I know, Mattel is not a country. It's a company. But here's what Trump had to say about that.
Mattel, I don't know, I'm not so sure. They also said, they're the only country I've heard, they said, well, we're going to go counter. We're going to try going someplace else. That's okay.
The only country.
Okay, so now we all heard that twice. So, Sarge, did you or did you not hear the president of the United States call Mattel the toy company, a country? Did you hear that?
Unlike you, I never deny matters of fact. Yes, he called Mattel a country. Now, let me elaborate further, if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right, so look, like I said, I can't name all 198 countries in the world. I know most of them. I can't name 198. He might have thought maybe there was a country name, but there's some little deal in that country. But what he knows is it is a company or is an entity that is manufacturing goods overseas, and they import them into the United States. As far as I'm concerned, that is the most important thing as to his understanding.
Okay.
I'm not
Thank you for
senile
that
because I can't name every country in the world or know whether or not a particular country even exists.
Okay, thank you for that answer. Hey, wait a minute, hold on.
Something?
Thank you for that answer, Sarge. But you are really ignoring the fact that the President of the United States just called a toy company a country.
A country.
And
mountains out of molehills.
Okay, I'll let you talk, nigga. The Lisa's next, but let me say this right here: the fact that you want to have this kind of thought exercise about naming countries is a deflection from the fact that the person that you look up to and is following is a goddamn moron. Go ahead, Elisa.
Now, Mattel is the largest toy maker in the world. It is the largest in the world. So that means the United States as well. They own Legos. They own every Fisher-Price, everything. Mattel, when they became a juggernaut, they beat everybody in the United States. And everybody in the United States, including Donald Trump, has heard of the Barbie doll. That is their weapon that they use even with everything else that they own. Fisher-Price, they own Legos, they own, and it's almost, well, there's other toy companies, but they are the juggernaut. Every freaking president, we don't know if they know every country name, but I bet since the inception of Mattel and they became the juggernaut that they are, every president since then know that they are a friggin' toy company. They know that. Every president since they became the juggernaut that they are knows Mattel is an American toy company. So that, I think we can all probably say, I bet everything I own, that every president, I bet Joe Biden does, and all of them since then. That is the argument that we need to stay on. Whether or not they can name every country, we don't know. There might be some, but I doubt it, but there might be. Barack was pretty smart. I bet you he can name a hell of a lot of them. But they all know.
What naming the countries
dating back to Richard Nixon, and probably when they became the juggernaut, was doing is they all know it's a toy company. And you ask, what do they make? All those presidents will say Barbie, and that he should know as well.
Yeah, I mean naming the countries. Naming the countries is a red herring, and it's not even. Sarge is so embarrassed about Donald Trump right now that he can't face the fact that this idiot just said Mattel was a goddamn country.
If Trump was running for president again and he made that mistake, I would still vote for him. So
of course
fuck you
would.
And fuck Mattel.
I know you don't. Go ahead, mama's boy.
Yeah, fuck you and fuck Mattel.
Well, you know, from the moment Sarge started talking, he didn't even feel the same way. Because he even stuttered over the word company or country. You know what I'm saying? So it told me right off the bat that he was trying to concoct in his mind.
Hold on, Sarge.
They're the most trivial bunch of people I've ever seen.
Don't get mad because I'm very astute at picking up niggas' tail.
I'm pointing out what you are.
He's mad because I picked up his tail of when he's lying.
I'm not
he
mad about
stumbled over his own words because he didn't believe his shit.
You can't hold a candle to me in a discussion, and you know it.
Sarge, come on, man. Listen, he's the president. He's the president.
I mean, God, these people love molehills.
Gotta always be some sort of pissing contest with this guy,
people,
man.
Like I said, dead horses and molehills, you're obsessed with them.
Sarge, listen, he's the president of the United States of America.
the most powerful man on the goddamn planet, arguably, but he's the president of the United States of America, and he called a toy company a country. That should tell you about some type of cognitive situation to where he's not able to comprehend things.
What Tyrone, you kind of stealing my little thunder there. What I was getting ready to say before I was rudely interrupted. Let's just say, for instance, Donald Trump knew it, okay, but he obviously forgot it because he went on a rant about a country.
Either scenario is not.
Donald Trump knows that the ERA was not a ratified amendment to the Constitution.
Okay, you're changing the subject.
That.
Okay, you're changing the subject.
I'd rather have a president who knows that than knows whether or not to tell him.
Nigga, you were just screaming at me about changing the subject. We're on one issue right now. Now you're trying to bring in other shit. Stay on focus. The motherfucker you following is retarded. Oh, I can't say that word. The motherfucker you following is kind of slow. That's all I'm saying. Who's this unknown caller?
Yeah, it's me back. Hey, I just wanted to let you know, the website that blows up his tariff formula is the Tax Foundation, and it's the April 3rd, 2025 posting where he basically said that his tariff formula is nonsense, and they break down exactly how it is. So I put the link in the chat, but I can't put links, so it's coming out as text.
You can't put links?
No.
You ain't got no wrench. No, you don't have a wrench. Well, you got one now. Here. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
I ain't know you had no damn
that's
wrench.
mighty great. That's some real white guy kind of shit there, Tyrell. I appreciate that, man.
Well, now, you got a wrench now. I didn't know you didn't have no wrench. I gave everybody a damn wrench.
I don't have one. I don't have one either.
We'll put something in the chat room, and I'll put you a wrench on there.
That's why I be having a hard time sending links, because I don't have a wrench either.
Well, just say hey or something in the chat room, and I'll put a link on. I'll put you a wrench.
I am. Wait a minute. Let me pull my thing back up.
Hey, what's up,
I
Frodo?
just saw how sweet. Wait a minute.
You know, I wanted to bring up a bit of hypocrisy too, that Sarge, but I'll wait till we're done talking about Donald Trump's mental fatigue.
Yeah, I love the way you guys avoid the use of the word hypocrisy in regard to your beliefs. It's beyond belief what you overlook as hypocrisy. Yeah, let's have that hypocrisy battle. Hey, let's have a hypocrisy battle.
Yeah, when they can't get them G.I. Joes with the kung fu grip, they got the little beard, they're going to storm the Capitol again.
Let them do it, and then it could be charged with insurrection.
All right, so here I just put up the article that Joe put it in the chat room. It says Trump reciprocal tariff calculations are nonsense, will punish mutually beneficial trade. That's what it says, and I'm not going to read the entire article. But yeah, Sarge, we was talking about the fact that the president of the United States actually called a toy company a country, and your response, if you type something again, Alicia, you have that wrench. But your response to Donald Trump wrongfully calling Mattel a country is, I guess it's par for the course with you guys. Y'all not even going to acknowledge.
Well, at least I don't think the United States has got 60 states in the union like that fucking Obama did.
We're not talking about that.
I am.
That nigga is gone.
There were 60 states
there
in the union.
Been a couple of presidents since him.
57 states with 3 more to go.
Listen.
Now, if you ask me, that's a bigger fuck up than anything Trump did.
No, it's not.
Yeah, let's send Mattel some foreign aid.
It'll never be according to you, because the sainted one, the anointed one, the light bringer can never do anything wrong.
I would love to see what's going to happen after these 3 years is gone and he's out of office. What's going to be your conclusion, Sarge? It's going to be real interesting what you're going to be saying 3 years from now. If we still here.
He's still gonna say the same thing,
Jay.
Jay.
Whatever it is, it'll be an honest appraisal. I can guarantee you that. Yeah. Unlike what I suspect your side.
I'm calling bullshit on that. Sarge ain't never told the truth.
Well, see, that's what you mean.
Only Obama can.
What you just said. I just said Obama said there were 60 states in the union. Was that a lie?
Obama is not the goddamn president, and he hasn't been for some time. So why the hell are we talking about President Obama?
I said that I just lie about it.
Why don't we talk about the current administration? Because that's what matters.
Hey, he wants to get off Trump's mental fatigue. That's what he wants.
No, I want to show how you are a hypocrite.
He wants to get out of Trump's mental stoppage.
I know what I'm doing, unlike you. I don't just throw up things without thinking about it.
You do just open your mouth without knowing what the fuck he gonna say.
Against the wall.
Here's the biggest problem. Yeah, Trump does not produce electable candidates. He hasn't done it yet.
Okay, we love to change the subject, don't we?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, looking past Trump.
Yeah.
Trump does not produce electable candidates. Everybody he endorses tends to lose.
Mm-hmm. Oh, when Obama did, it wasn't 60, it was 57. They were talking about Islamic states. 57, it wasn't 60. I said Obama said it was 57 states.
No, what happened?
They were talking about the Islamic country. So he meant to say.
No. What happened, Lisa? Hold on for a second. Hold on.
No, he said he'd been to 57
Shut the fuck up, Sarge.
states.
I know exactly when you're talking about. When Barack Obama was first running for president, that man was on the road day and night, and he never got no sleep, right? So it was one night late at night, and that man was tired of shit. You can tell that he was tired, and he just misspoke about the number of states. And it wasn't that big of a deal that Sarge is making it out of. Everybody know he misspoke. And everybody know that Barack Obama know that there's 50 states. So, and Sarge, that man was tired of shit when he said that. And even the news acknowledged that the man was fucking tired. So what the fuck is your point? This guy had a press conference. Donald Trump had a press conference with motherfuckers sitting around him in suits and ties.
Tired. And he wasn't tired.
Yeah, he wasn't tired. And he had cameras on his ass. Barack Obama was walking after a campaign or some bullshit. But this motherfucker was sitting at the damn Resolute desk in the fucking Oval Office, and he said that Mattel was a goddamn country. Speak about that, you fucking idiot. Who's this unknown caller?
And he gonna put 100% tariffs on them. And Obama, he got it mixed up because he was tired. There are 57 Islamic states. I bet you Trump don't know that.
Yeah, hey, I don't even understand why Sarge is even bucking, because he know at the end of the day, Sarge, Donald Trump is gonna taco his way out of the motherfucking tariffs.
What's up, Maze?
Yes, I have two things to say. Now, when she was talking about Mattel, and he said the president can't name every country, so he was stuck just like Trump was until she said Mattel was a toy company. I was not listening. That's what he said. So what does that have to do with naming the countries? And it's a toy company that he can't find on the map. So Sarge was thinking the same thing. Because I was asking him, where do we find this place?
So does Sarge have a little mental decline going on?
She explained it to him.
I caught that, Maze. You
don't brought it up.
All of us heard it, but we know Sarge ain't the president of the United States, and we know Sarge.
So he act like he is. He put himself in that place. So you listen to him, you can hear the lies he's telling, and then you see how confused he is. That's why he's hanging with Meghan.
Here's the quote from Barack Obama.
It's
wonderful to be back in Oregon. Over the last 15 months, we've traveled to every corner of the United States. I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go. Alaska and Hawaii, I was not allowed to go to, even though I really wanted to visit, but my staff would not justify it. That's the fucking quote.
No. I'm not denying, and he did say that. But whenever he said that, Sarge, as a matter of fact, the statement you reading proves my point. Is that he tried to travel to every one of the goddamn states, and that motherfucker was tired as shit. And they cornered him in one of those pressers, and that's what he said. So I'm not saying that he did not say it, Sarge. He said it, but we all know that he misspoke. Jesus Christ! Even the way you just read the statement proves my point that he'd been traveling and he was tired. Good Lord.
Well, that's a big difference from calling a big ass press conference.
But he mixed it up with the. And he mixed it up with the.
He wasn't talking about no damn Islamic states.
If you
he mixed it up with the. He mixed it up. Wait a minute. I misspoke. But he still mixed it up with the 57 Islamic states. There are 57 Islamic states.
But hold on. All of this is a distraction because we're not even talking about Obama.
Yeah, but you guys love making mountains out of molehills, so I got to.
We're talking about the sitting president of the United States of America.
We just talking about your current president.
We're talking about.
He said the president can't know every place in the world. So if Obama made a mistake about a place, you can't even admit that Trump made one because he didn't know.
We're talking about the fucking United States, goddammit! We ain't talking about Botswana.
How incorrect he is.
Now, what the hell that's supposed to mean? What was that supposed to mean, Botswana? What was that supposed to mean?
He's acting like not knowing about.
You can't even explain it. You can't even explain it.
Every bit as significant as not knowing how many fucking states there are in the union.
No. Sarge.
Go ahead,
Sarge. You're losing because you're comparing this president to Barack Obama, which was 2 terms ago.
Barack Obama wasn't always as sharp as a tack either.
I have a question for Sarge. Why is Elon upset? And why he's not agreeing with Trump's plan? You ought to be
I think you ought to be upset with it because it adds too much to the goddamn deficit. I don't like it either. I don't like it. Do you hear what I just said? I don't like it either.
Good for you.
So we're going to go throw a parade.
Oh, God.
Man, I'm not a cultist. You guys are cultists.
You are a cultist.
So, y'all have a good night.
All right, please. Yeah, you're definitely a cultist, Sarge.
I mean, I don't have to like everything Trump does, and I don't like everything he does. I don't like him adding $3 trillion to the deficit. I agree with Musk on this one.
But you still call him daddy.
Motherfucker, I call him President of the United States. What the fuck do you call him?
A piece of shit.
A whole lot better than I call you.
Damn right, nigga. That's why we don't like each other. You're fucking A. And let's keep it that way.
A whole lot better than I call you.
I guess we're not going to get a response on Taco.
I'm so goddamn glad of it. I can't tell you how happy it makes me to know I've gained your enmity.
We're not going to get an accurate response on Taco and an accurate response on President calling Mattel a country. So there's... You know, I mean, I kind of figured that would be responsible.
Hey, he said it with his whole chest too, Tyrone. He was going on and on and on about that damn Mattel country.
No, you niggas were going on and on about it. You, like I said, you love mountains out of moles and dead horses that never get up. You love that shit because you got no real arguments about anything.
Yeah.
And the arguments you make run out of gas pretty quick.
Yeah, if you want to talk about making mountains out of molehill, how about talking about a judge's wife, what she does for a living, when you have no evidence whatsoever that this man is influenced by his wife or what she does. In fact, you ask us to give them the benefit of the doubt, and you don't give the benefit of the doubt yourself.
No. Again, I specifically said more than once, I have no way of knowing whether he is actually conflicted by his wife's position in that firm. I said that repeatedly.
Then why bring it up?
Well, because there's no reason why.
It makes no
because
sense.
the judge in a case before him is supposed to avoid any potential conflict of interest. That is apparent.
Now, if
you worried about conflict of interest, I didn't hear you open your mouth with Jenny Thomas. I didn't hear you open your mouth with Judge Roberts. If you worried about and the decisions that they made when it came to January the 6th, so you're not really worried about no goddamn conflicts.
Not to mention, Tyrone, that $400 million goddamn plane from them Qataris.
Yeah, you ain't worried about no conflicts of interest. That's a goddamn lie. So you lying right now. If
You're a liar, nigga. I did say something about that. You choose to ignore what I said. I'll say it again to your ass.
You didn't say shit.
You always do this shit. You love trying to make my argument a straw man because you can't do nothing with them if you deal with them the way I say them.
You didn't say shit about that airplane. As a matter of fact, you
nigga, see how you got to keep going? Let's start with Jenny Thomas, nigga. You accused me of something that I didn't do.
Sarge, you didn't say shit about Jenny Thomas.
God damn it, I did, motherfucker. You brought it up, and we had an argument about it.
Okay,
you're senile or something.
I told you this nigga be lying. Come on, let's hear the lie, nigga.
What senile son of a bitch, you can't remember shit.
Let's hear the lie.
What'd you say about Jenny Thomas, Sarge?
What I said was that no matter what Jenny Thomas chooses to do, because her husband has nothing to do about it, nothing in any of that was a conflict of interest before any case before him in the Supreme Court. If there was one, you tell me what it was.
It was his decision about the January 6ers not being held accountable for one of the charges that was put before the Supreme Court. It was his decision when they said Donald Trump was immune whenever he made his decisions about January the goddamn 6th, Sarge. Justice Thomas made decision after decision about January the 26th. And the conflict comes because Jenny Thomas was a card-carrying, MAGA hat-wearing insurrectionist that participated with emails and texts in the goddamn insurrection. The fact that his wife participated in the goddamn insurrection, promoted the goddamn insurrection, is a fucking conflict. You fucking moron. What is wrong with you?
You just lied and calumniated and slandered her. You said she participated in an insurrection. You're a liar and you just slandered her.
Look, motherfucker, it's been reported over and over and over again. Jenny Thomas told people where to be, what time to be there, when they were having goddamn meetings. She even went to the motherfucking goddamn Capitol to meet with some of the goddamn people, Sarge. It is a fucking fact. You don't know. I'm not slandering this fucking insurrectionist. So you're a goddamn liar. She was in.
You made that shit up, you fucking lying bastard.
Oh shit! I guess I better not say nothing about Jenny, huh? Jesus.
You can say anything you want as long as it's true.
It is true.
You can even lie. But when you lie, nigga, I'm gonna point it out.
Jenny Thomas is an insurrectionist, Sarge, and her husband.
Says you.
Oh God.
And you know you lie.
We did the damn reports on the shit, Sarge. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Man, she participated in helping to organize a demonstration. There were 1,000 rioters and 100,000 people were in the Capitol. They didn't charge 100,000 people with insurrection.
Okay, listen. Okay, so
I'm not. Made it up.
I am not going down this rabbit hole to where when I'm using insurrection as an adjective, I'm not using it as a charge criminally or civilly. I'm using it to describe the actions of those people. They are all insurrectionists. And you support insurrectionists. I'm using it to describe what the fuck they did. They performed an insurrection. Do you understand that? They didn't get held legally liable for being insurrectionists in no type of criminal court or anything. But what the act that they did was insurrection, Sarge. So that's why she's an insurrectionist. But go ahead, Elisa.
And then also Jenny Thomas's
Nobody was
email.
even charged with insurrection. Sedition was the highest charge.
Wait a minute. Anyway, and then her emails following what went on January 6th. Her emails show she urged the Wisconsin lawmakers to overturn the 2020 election. I mean, they found all of these emails and things that she was in. She regret all. They said she finally came out and regret some of the text messages and the emails and some of the involvement and stuff she had. Clarence Thomas should have recused himself on a lot of those things, considering his wife was involved in some of those things like that. He should have, and he did. And I think we can at least be adults enough to say that.
I'm adult enough to say that Judge Reed.
It wasn't just her involvement out there on the day.
I'm adult enough.
I never said. Hold on. I never said that she was involved. I never said that she was on January the 6th. I said she supported and she actually promoted the fucking insurrection. And I think that's what she did, because right here it says she attended a Stop the Steal rally. I mean, goddamn, that's part of the goddamn insurrection leading up to it. She also contacted and corresponded with John Eastman, a lawyer who played a role in devising a legal strategy to overturn the election. That's those emails Elise is talking about. So yeah, she's an insurrectionist, Sarge. I don't know what the fuck to tell you, bro. She's an insurrectionist. So there you go.
And she was involved in all of this.
Did would mean that she would be subject to being called an accessory to inciting a riot. You made it up. You're a liar. And I'm going to tell you one thing about Justice Reed's ruling directly impinged upon the financial fortunes of his wife and himself. Directly infected it. Directly, not indirectly.
Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is that's a conflict.
Even if he wasn't corrupted, because it gives the appearance of impropriety and conflict of interest.
I'm not arguing with you. But listen, the fact that she was at the Stop the Steal rally and the fact that she was trying to get people to overturn the election results, and her husband was making decisions around those events, is the conflict of interest. Now you don't have to agree with that, but goddamn it, it is. She live in the same goddamn house.
Damn weak.
So she live in the same goddamn house. She live in the same house.
He should have recused himself.
That's no weak ass association. I don't think so.
She live in the same house. She live in the same house.
There's a direct line between his ruling and her financial fortunes.
Well, she live in the same house with Coon Thomas.
Oh, we do know it. We know what her position is.
Listen, motherfucker, she live in the house with the damn Coon, and his decision on January 6th was Coon behavior, so she had an influence on that Coon fucking goddamn decision. I don't know what the hell to tell you. She's a white woman.
God, man, you do not know how to linearly reason at all, not even a little bit.
She was texting Mark. She was texting Mark Meadows. She was texting Mark Meadows about overturning the election. And Jimmy Thomas was in that.
135 members of Congress too. They were going to challenge the electoral count.
Hold on. The whole point was the conflict of interest.
What do you mean? There's something illegal about that?
I think we proved. I think we proved the conflict.
Yeah, you can say things and know they're not true. You're allowed to challenge an election and even attempt to overturn it with the Electoral Count Act. You're allowed to do that.
No, you're not.
If they had charged those people the way that they lawfully should have charged them, she would have been charged too.
One more time. You're allowed to challenge an election legally. And that's what she was talking about, using the Electoral Count Act, which is a law.
Okay, listen.
Passed by Congress.
I hate when these people try to rewrite history. None of what Jenny Thomas did was legal. Jenny Thomas is the Supreme Court Justice's wife. She had no business talking to the chief of staff about overturning a goddamn election. She had no business talking to the lawyer, John Eastman, about overturning an election. She had no business attending a Stop the Steal rally, which turned into the fucking January 6th riot to motivate people to overturn the goddamn election. All of that shit.
And she had
go ahead.
No business texting and emailing the lawmakers in Wisconsin to overturn the election. She had no business doing that.
So when Sarge said this stuff was above board and legal, it was not. because if it was, they would have went through a process where it was publicly known what she was doing to try to, get different results. But they was doing this shit behind. That's why we're reading text messages. It's not publicly known that she was doing this bullshit. She was doing it behind the goddamn scenes, Sarge. So all of that shit she was doing is criminal. Good Lord, what the fuck is wrong with you,
She is under no obligation whatsoever to reveal her private emails or correspondence to anyone regarding lawful activities. She can advocate to overturn the election using the Electoral Count Act of 1877, which never had an opportunity to be made since Nancy Pelosi invoked emergency rules to shut down all parliamentary elections to the electoral count. Now, that is a fact.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you. You're wrong.
Just let it go.
You don't know what to say because you're ignorant, unlike me.
No,
that's
not
why.
True.
I just gave you an answer. She's under no obligation to reveal her private correspondence. None. None legally, none ethically, none morally.
What you're saying doesn't matter. I don't know what the fuck else to tell you.
The First Amendment even applies to Supreme Court justices' spouses. The First Amendment says...
You said she had no obligation to do shit. Why the fuck do we know what her text messages say? The reason that we know what her text messages say, because what she was doing was, I ain't gonna say illegal, I'm gonna say unethical. The reason I'm not saying illegal, because she didn't get found guilty in no court or nothing like that, but the shit was illegal. Okay, so that's why, because during an investigation into Jenny Thomas, this stuff was revealed. That's why it's public. That's why we know what the text messages say. During an investigation into Mark Meadows and John Eastman and people who was corresponding with Jenny Thomas, this shit was revealed, her text. That's why the fuck we know about it. The shit was not legal because it came out through a judicial process of investigation. The shit was not legal, sir. I don't know. What the fuck? I don't even know why the fuck I'm talking to you.
And I said she was under no legal obligation to reveal any of that. And even after they were revealed, there was nothing in them that was illegal.
Hey, you want to know something, Tyrone?
Okay.
You got to take Sarge at his word sometimes. Use it against him. Because he even said with his whole chest, including his lower back, even the appearance of impropriety, you should recuse yourself. And just the appearance of it alone is the whole reason why we giving so much shit about Trump taking Qatarian planes and telling motherfuckers, give me $1 billion and I'll do whatever you want. And all those issues that Sarge overlooks his president doing, but he's putting all those qualifications on everyone else except his president. Peace, Tyrone.
Trump is not a member of the judiciary. Different kettle of fish.
Okay. Well, look, y'all, it's 12 o'clock, and y'all know what time it is.
And a chief executive.
Y'all know what time it is for me. I got to get the hell out. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got to go to. We didn't even get to Sean Combs, but I'm not, just like you, Tyrone, I'm not really following that.
Yeah.
It's going to be what it's going to be. That trial got a long way to go. So
I'll watch it. We have plenty of time to talk about Puffy. Dude. Let's stick to Trump.
I'll watch it, but I'm not going to sit there and waste hours of the day listening to that crazy shit.
Me either. So we just have to see how that all turn out. Trump will probably, if he's convicted, which he should be, we have to wait to see more things that come out. But he will probably pardon him anyway. So
I see that Trump pardoned Larry Hoover.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that about? That's crazy.
Now, I got to admit, I didn't like that one either. I didn't like that one at all. I dealt with that back in Chicago.
What about the Chrisleys? What about them?
I don't like that, but hey, that's his call. I don't agree with it at all.
Why would he pardon Larry Hoover?
He was the leader of the Gangster Disciples and the Four Corner Hustlers in Chicago.
I know, but
what that motherfucker was doing.
Why would he pardon him though? That's nuts.
Again, like I said, I don't like it. I'd say, Mr. President, you shouldn't have done that.
And like that Culpeper police chief, He pardoned him. I mean, the FBI did a lot of good work in catching, and the people in Culpeper, Virginia, are pissed because when that was going on, it was all on the news because that's part of the DMV. When that was going on, that man is just as corrupt as the day is long. But he's a big Trump fan, so Trump pardoned him, put him back out on the street because he was going in to be sentenced to 10 years in prison for badge selling, for taking bribes.
Well, this is my conspiracy. Look, y'all can say whatever y'all want, but I think Trump is really trying to come up with some type of militia, some type of brown shirt army, some type of people that will act at his fucking, every beck and call to do some crazy shit. That's just my conspiracy. I don't know, because this is just ridiculous. He already got ICE. He already got ICE performing illegal acts whenever he's breaking into schools and these people homes.
And they got on masks and stuff.
Yeah.
And people think some of them are January 6th people. So, I mean, I think, and then if he could get some black people on his side by the Larry dude, what is it, Young Boy Thug or whoever that person is, he pardoned his criminal behind, and he's going to pardon Puffy. That's why he's going to let all these criminals go. And I agree with you, Tyrone. It's a conspiracy, but it's a conspiracy that got legs and meat to it.
Yeah, he's trying to build some type of army or something going on here. And we got a soldier right here on the damn phone that's gonna be a general. Sarge gonna be a general up in that militia.
Sarge ain't gonna be no goddamn general.
Hey, let's tell you what Barack Obama said once upon a time. We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well-funded. That's your boy Barack Obama.
Now all of a sudden you believe in Barack Obama.
And you taking that out of context.
No, hold on, Tyrone. So now he believes in Barack Obama. Now he believes in what Barack Obama says. Really?
He's taking it out of context. He's taking it out of context, and he was talking about the youth and putting the youth into the workforce or some shit like that. I remember every time you fucking talk about Barack Obama, sorry, that was my goddamn president, motherfucker. So stop lying on him. God damn.
National security force that's just as powerful as the military. Motherfucker, can't you understand anything?
Oh, God. You know what? Listen, guys, Sarge is lying. And I got to go, so I'm going to open the lines. If y'all want to call into the show.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
Appreciate it, Miss Alicia. YouTube, y'all get ready to go down. Call into the show so you can listen to Sarge rant and lay and tell some more goddamn lies about whatever the fuck he going to lie about, because that's all he do is lie. So, YouTube.
Tyrone, all that yelling and screaming and irrational behavior